Maybe it'll be said. But for now, we have this week's session of Rescue at Raxis. Yes, the original title.
I mean, I guess it depends
Wait,
on
we're,
how
we're
far
actually
away
at
we have left
Raxis?
time.
No, you're
We
not
actually
at
made it to
Raxis.
Raxis?
No, you're not made at Raxis yet.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you sure you've started it? Because your stream's not up yet. You're still hosting Jade.
You have to refresh for that.
Okay, yep, now it's come up.
Yeah, it doesn't like to kick in automatically. Anyway, last time, the party made a clear and present decision. They would take the coward's option and go the lowland route. Instead of going up into the mountains, where they'd heard certain things, including many roars. During the night, they were accosted by an undead bear, and something that was trying to eat it. It was a ghostly troll that had no concept that it was actually a ghost. It took many attempts to put it down properly. Then came a little bit of trundling, a little bit of rolling, and heading south for a nearby village, the last one on the way to Raxis on this path. They met wonderful people, friendly people, Vivistani. Travelers who were always very gracious with guests. They mingled, some of them successfully. They danced, they drank, they partied. Morning rises, and the party at the moment is split. Some of you chose to stay at the wagon. Some of you maybe found success elsewhere. But for now, the music is quiet. There's only a handful of people milling around, getting prepped to start rolling on their journey. It's still very friendly, still frivolous, but, with a purpose. They're rolling up their rugs, they're packing up cushions. Large pipes and hookahs are getting put away. And carts of cargo are being strapped in tightly. So tell me, what do you guys do?
I'm going to reacquire Pufflesworth.
Throughout the night, Oh, actually, that's right. We did go through a night, so Siegfried. I will need a wisdom save. I will also need one from Rain.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Siegfried, it was a pretty restful night. Despite all the noise around it, it was nice because none of it was growls or screams or roars. Felt nice to be around society. Rain, yours was mostly pleasant, but now and again you just had this strange feeling, and even twice you stirred in the night. You felt that you were being watched.
Darn porcelain dolls.
You may have been, but who knows? And yes, Pufflesworth is... Well, what did Malgern do with him?
I cuddled him and went to sleep.
Aww.
He dries my tears.
Rain, as you head for the wagon, doing whatever morning prep you do, you spot inside it this massive mingling. It's hard to tell where the beard ends and the owlbear begins. There's just this great mass cuddled up against the dwarf.
Aww.
Siegfried,
I'm still asleep, I don't know.
Yep,
how about you?
I've just been sleeping out by the wagon, I'm guessing. Nursing the bottle of whiskey that I got.
Yeah, he just gave you the one offering, but man, it lasted the whole night.
I took my time on it.
Yep. Zarzul, did you return to the wagon, or did you try to find a bed elsewhere?
I curled up under a wagon. I'm not too sure whose wagon, but it was a wagon.
Roll me a d4. You slept underneath the dancer's wagon. You know that because Wolfgang pads out of it, covered in ribbons. He gives a few aggressive shakes to try and distill them, but then pauses you to wake you up.
Okay, Wolfgang, we'll get back to our wagon and wherever that is. Which way is that again? That looks like it over there. Yes, I see this big shiny thing.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty easy to
let's
tell
go
from
over
the
there.
giant shiny snail shell glittering in the light.
I thought we had a tarp over it. Who's in charge of the tarp?
You had the tarp on
Yep.
for some of the time.
Yep. So yeah, I head back over to the wagon and start removing ribbons.
Also have noticed that while it was a party atmosphere last night, this morning, I mean, they're still welcoming, they're still greeting, but it is just colder, not from them, but just the environment itself. The rain, at least, has let up. It's dry, but biting. Very easy to get a nip in the fingers. Cornelius, how did you mingle at the night? Did you return to the wagon for a peaceful recline?
I imagine so. This isn't the kind of party that Cornelius does very much in.
Droop would have followed reluctantly. And Castalia,
Mm-hmm.
your morning situation, if any.
Likely waking up and emerging from the dancer's wagon.
You are, on waking up and stepping out, you are surrounded by the gaggle of the rest of the dancers. There's a bit of chatter. Nothing all that important, just them asking questions, some of them giving advice on various men. And a few more repeated steps on, you do make sure you put your hands like this whenever you do that third step, that kind of thing. And very quickly, they're ready to go before you lot are, and all you have is a couple of horses and a wagon. But they are very prepared people. One of them steps forth and just simply waves. Farewell, friends. May we meet again before the next full moon.
Just out of question, which direction are they going?
They are going north.
Okay, so they're not going the way we came from.
Nah, they're going the way... No, they are. You went south to go to the village, remember?
Oh,
You're on a main road that's
oh.
going west to east. But you've taken a little diversion
Yeah.
for now.
I'll probably be... just a fair warning. On the road, I'm assuming you're not going near Raxis, so be careful of hill giants. There was one particular couple that seemed odd, but we managed to avoid trouble with them.
Giants, you say? Ah, perhaps then we go... Yes, we will hit up the village in the mountains instead. Maybe there we get companions, bodyguards, fellow traders. Safety in numbers, as always.
Yes.
You take care of yourselves. If you are heading further south, remain on the outskirts of the desert lands. And the village itself, Sironov, is a beautiful place. Absolutely thriving with art, with pleasantry, with women. It is a heavenly spot.
I'd just say.
I only recommend that you watch your spending.
Well, thank you very much for the advice. Have a safe journey.
You too, my friends. Travel always safely and in happiness. And they start to head out. They don't actually make any gesture of, you can go first or anything. They just immediately ride in front of you guys and away they go. Now, a few of the windows do open, a few more waves and gestures and greetings. And then they're gone. There's all that's left of the evidence of them is one or two broken jugs and flattened grass.
And interesting people. Very nice.
Let's.
Did I manage to trade any pipeweed for their pipeweed?
You managed to give them a clump, like a fistful for you, and you got back a fistful that's human size.
I'm gaining.
It's definitely got a fragrance to it. More of a spicy aroma than the very earthy tones you've been smoking so far. And yes, all that noise, all that frivolity, just gone, and now you're back in the wilderness again. And so you continue to head south, I imagine.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go, Pufflesworth?
And And he just tries to bury himself deeper into the beard.
Pufflesworth, didn't you miss me?
Slowly turns round, blinking heavily. Groggy as anything. It's favoring one side or the other on both of its legs. Or two of its legs. And then just clumps itself towards you. And then you find there's about 60 pounds or so of owlbear cub just pressing on your leg.
I pick him up and I cuddle him.
Do you now? Give me a strength check.
Yeah, let's see how this works.
60 pounds is quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you managed to heft him up. You realize, yeah, he's been eating well. Probably better than a wild one would. And so you start heading southwards. Now and again you can see on your left, or as we're going by the east. Fucking compass directions. The tree line now and again breaks just enough to get glimpses of that distant temple building that you'd heard about. Although sadly this tree line is very thick on your right side, to the point that you don't actually notice as many hours pass. You've actually arrived at the village. It's only about 60 feet or so before you can see the entrance carving itself through the tree line. A little path inside. As you crane your necks further to the right, you can just barely make out above the treetops taller buildings in the distance. It looks like there's a little bit of a ride further on. But you trundle further to 60 feet. A strong, well-carved and varnished wooden gate. Well, wooden gate frame. There's no actual bit in the middle. Standing tall. And you can see, finally, clearness. You can see building civilization. It's still about half a mile away. But you can see the walls of protection. You can see actual rooftops, windows. You can see the little marks of people stepping around the walls. Civilization at last. It's been a while. And this time no zombies at the gate. No threat, no danger. Just a guard standing there with his crossbow against him, up at the top of the gate. Hello there!
Hello.
Are you traders, travellers?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Sounds like you want the frill and lace, mate. Alright, let him in, Steve. The wooden gates start creaking open, made of many various tree trunks. And you can see it's not bustling, but there's an activity. There's farmers, there's pigs, there's sheep, there's people in slightly nicer clothing stepping around, and there's a lot of finery as well. People that don't look like they come from Cornelius's line of life. But they're still dressed pretty tidily. There's lots of creased lapels, there's puffy pantaloons, there's tights, there's slippers, there's hats with feathers in them of various colors. In fact, it's a lot of color in general. Every building is painted quite freshly. And you can see at the far end there is this great manor house. A couple of floors up, very widely spread, but it's in among the community. It's not separated out, there's no big grounds to it. And to the immediate right of it, a building slightly smaller, very slightly smaller, and a lot busier. You can also see there's numerous wagons and caravans pulled up, around it, that's almost blocking off some of the buildings nearby. And from the balcony you can spot quite a lot of activity of various men and women in very loose outfits, with traders that seem like the one you met, the dwarf chap you met. And you can surmise this is probably the frill and lace, the recommended spot. But everyone around you, some glance, some don't even bat an eyelid at you. But there are quite a lot of people who are walking around, not just in nice appearances, but also in wraps and loose robes and turbans. There are some darker complexions, some pale as the moon. Wrecking my throat now. So, what do? Where do you go?
Well, where can we go?
I mean, just give me an idea of what you want to look for, where you want to fancy. It seems like, unlike the heavily regimented Volunkia, this place is actually okay with you parking anywhere. There is, of the main sort of area you're in, there is a big fountain in the middle. An exquisite statue carved, or sculpture, sure. Tripping over all my fucking words today. Well, it's an amazing sculpture of a beautiful elven woman and man. The water spurting from their hands. There's also, well, let's go around here. There are stores that look like they have equipment, they have sundries. There is what definitely seems to be a seamstresses, or at least a tailor's, one of those two. It's hard to tell really, because there's quite cluttered, a lot of colours, a lot of wagons in front as well. There are a couple of small shrines, like single floor, but enough for a couple of pews. To some of the gods, they have quite a few symbols on top part of them. There are a few residential buildings. You can see further out to the west, there's more farmland that's spreading outwards to sustain the village. No one's really stepping up to greet or anything.
Is there any place that looks like sort of a roadhouse where travellers sort of are staying, coming and going from?
As you're glancing around, you get the idea that you're looking at sign iconography and whatnot, so there seems to be only two kind of pub wayfare establishments. One is the Frill and Lace, which is bustling. The other is actually behind some of the shrines, and it seems to have a few people walking into it, but not much else.
That's on sale.
You can't see the sign thoroughly from here, but you can see that it's got that little wooden placard showing a tankard.
Well, I'm going out to see if I can find some components for all my spells. I would suggest maybe going to someone use Azul along with someone else. Maybe try and go to one of the temples and see what is happening with your skill development.
Yeah, that might be a plan. I was also thinking about trying to find somewhere to buy a map. A map may be of use to us going forward.
I can take care of that. You try and see if you can get that taken care of.
Okay. I look around the temples to see which ones are around that may be of use.
You do see a familiar symbol of Clemvor. You do see one to Helm. A few of the others, Joaquin, the traders, you see... let's see, you do see a couple of the agricultural ones. One's for the hunters and whatnot. But I mean, the best guess you've got that would help you would probably be Kalimvor. It's one of the symbols there.
Rain, perhaps you could assist Sarsul. Tell him what you've already done to help him.
I was planning on doing that. Yeah, that seems like a relatively decent idea.
There isn't a shrine to Tamara, the dragon goddess.
There is not. There isn't even one to Bahamut, the more traditionally worshipped one.
Come on,
One
Zarzo.
day. Okay, I follow along. And how well did I get the ribbons out of Wolfgang?
Yeah, it was easy enough. They weren't tied in tightly,
Okay.
there was just a lot of them. So on the bright side, you've got a pound or two of ribbon.
I make sure they're nice and tidy and kept safe. You never know.
Never know, he might want to go to a formal occasion.
He looked cute with the ribbon.
Yeah, but it needs a few feathers and beads just to set it off. Ribbons by themselves, not so good.
Cornelius, you're keeping an eye on the manor house, of course, because that's where the leader would be. That's where the good breeding is. And you do see a man stepping out from the front doors, resplendent. He has the full frilled cravat. He has a gilded blade as his hip. And surprisingly, he's a half-orc gentleman. And you watch as he waves to a few of the passing citizenry, and then steps himself right into the bustling brothel.
I shake my head and just go, no money.
But as for Zar... what about the rest of you? As Zarzul and Rain head to the temple? We know Cornelius is heading to a store. Yeah. Siegfried, Castalia, Malgern.
Well, I'm going to look for a merchant of some description to see if we can't sell off some of the extra jewellery and stuff that we've got kicking around.
As you start walking and looking around, do you mention to anyone you're looking for a merchant?
Not at the moment. I'm just keeping my ears open and just kind of browsing the place to see what's actually happening in the way of gossip and whatnot.
You realize merchant might be an easy thing to find. As you start passing by the wagons, you get a bit closer to them, and some of them actually have on the side facing the buildings the tarpaulin pulled up, and you can see that there's spice pouches, there's stacks of fruit and vegetables that you've never seen before. There's great gourds, there's jewels, there's necklaces, there are strange outfits of flowing garb, there's surprisingly a broom stall, just entirely brooms and mops. And there's also ones that are showing very fancy weapons. And most of the owners are bustling around, they're chatting to each other in a language that you're not quite able to catch. It's certainly not common. Now and again there are a few specks of dwarf you can pick up on. A lot of haggling for prices is about what you can tell.
Okay, is there anyone that seem to be dealing with jewellery?
Oh yeah, there is. He's wearing most of his store. If you from a glance at him, he is just bedecked in finery.
Well, I go up to the guy and go, "Hello, I'm wondering if you're interested in purchasing some rings and
Ah, common, right? Yes. You wish to sell to me? Okay. Well, fine. Show me your goods.
Well, I'm going to at least bring out some of the stuff we've got in the respect of rubies and rings, by the look of things.
Are you trying... Well, obviously it is the nature of a haggle, but are you trying to really push these as something, fancier? You're trying to wrangle yourself a high price.
I'm going to at least try and get a reasonable price for them. I don't want to be...
Because you've got a fair idea of what most of these are worth, because you've met fences before, so you know at least that cost.
Yeah,
what these sort of
I
things
know
are.
roughly what they're worth and what I should be getting.
But are you trying to lean on it a bit
crowded.
more, get a bigger profit margin?
No, I'm not going to be that type of person. I just want a fair. Seeing as this is in an outskirts area, it's not like it's in Raxis or a big town. I'm just going to try and get a reasonable price.
All right.
I think it is a trading hub, though.
Yes, which means they want a profit as well.
Mm.
So you're just trying to get a fair kind of price to these. Maybe a coin or two more if you can.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a charisma check. Just roll charisma there. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces now and again. He stumbles out of common and goes into a different language, but he's very on the level for you. And he says, yes, this is good stuff. Yes, I can sell this where I'm going. I'll take I'll take what you're offering. Yes, I'll give you a very fair price, and he gives you like a coin or two more than each of the listed prices.
Okay.
So you're getting 2 gold more for each of those.
2 gold more per how much? Is
For
it
each
per
item.
50 gold or
Yeah.
for each item? Okay.
Yeah, for the listed price. Yeah, this is very fine.
'Cause I'm going to go through our inventory and actually try and get rid of some of the non-magical.
Okay, he's only going to buy about 6 different objects.
Okay.
Trying to unload all the treasure you have is a bit much even for him.
No, I wouldn't think
Yeah.
so. Okay. well, everybody else is doing their stuff. I'll work out which bits we're selling to work on.
I mean, you might want to tell the party as well. They might want to keep those shiny things.
But I'm not going to get rid of the diamonds. I'm just pretty much going to get rid of most of the rings that we've got kicking around and maybe a couple of rubies.
All right.
And then, and while I'm doing it, probably pump for any gossip on about the roads.
All right, give me a persuasion there, as you're chatting with him. He doesn't have a hell of a lot that's relevant to the direction you're going, but he does talk a lot about how, it's very hard to sell in Doma. It's a very difficult kingdom to get profits in because you can never enter the city. Only the outskirts and nomad tribes will actually deal with outsiders. And then as he talks about Gerad as well, he talks about their great powerful navy, how people laugh at it, and that is just a horrendous crime. And he does speak of Raxis, but he's only been there like 2 years ago or so. And he does say that most of the roads have actually been quite busy, and they had to hire a mercenary company. Most of them are enjoying spending their paycheck in the frill and lace.
That would explain why it's so bustling at the moment. Okay.
All right, Castalia, Malgern, what are you up to?
I'm assuming it's early. Is it morning, afternoon?
It's around 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
I'm looking for a drink and an afternoon snack.
Well, Zarzul did point out the 2 local houses that seem to be for that sort of thing.
Excellent.
You have the quiet-looking bar, or you have the bustling one.
We'll go for the bustling one.
All right, you're heading in there. Castalia, how about you?
Probably the same.
There's quite a lot of attention on the 2 of you as you walk together. Most of them, understandably, in Castalia's direction. There's a few even with...
Just one question.
Yep.
Who's with the wagon right now?
Nobody.
This is fine.
No, Droop goes with Cornelius unless he's told otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, I'll stay with the wagon. I don't mind.
I'll just say, just mentioning it.
All right,
Wolfgang's with a wagon.
No.
There you go.
Wolfgang with Zarzul. I'll stay with the wagon. I don't mind.
Quick question. We've got palm-sized rubies. Oh no, that's 6 rubies. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's only a few minutes, Castalia, as you're sitting there, when one of the town guards starts to walk up to you. You can tell because they've all got the same sort of standard uniform, holding a spear and grip. If you want, I can look after that for you.
Thank you, but that won't be necessary.
You sure? It looks like all your mates just walked off with you.
Yes, but they do have to come back eventually, and then we can decide on what we wish to do.
All right, fair enough.
They're just taking care of their little details.
Also, my shift's over in an hour. He slowly approaches a bit of a swagger and leans his elbow on the rider's seat of a wagon.
No, thank you.
Oh, right. Well, have a good day then. Right. As he walks away, he seems a little disheveled, and then gets the swagger back in place as he remembers he's got local power. All right, we'll jump to Cornelius for now. You're in the store. You decide to walk into one of the buildings, or are you going to inspect the wagons alongside Siegfried? You do notice him chatting to one of the jewel-bedecked types.
Yeah, well, at the moment I'm kind of just looking for a pearl and something that seems like someone who would be selling maps, since that was Azul was looking for.
The pearl, you get a feeling that's... I mean, as you look at the wagons, you can see that there's quite a lot of colored smoke emanating from one of them. And as you approach, you do see there's an abundance of things. This could be an apothecary's wagon. This could be an alchemist's little travel show. There are jars of all manner of small, weird, preserved things. And at the counter itself, sitting in the wagon, cross-legged, is this incredibly skinny elf. Like, two or three of your fingers is the width of his arm. As he just sits there, just unblinking, staring off in what seems like directly into the window of a bakery.
Hello?
Yes, you speak of the present time. I am of the before and the new. Are you looking for trade? Are you looking for guidance? I offer all.
Well,
No refunds
mostly
if you do not enjoy what you see.
Well, should I hold my hands for my eyes in case it costs something to look?
At no point he looks at you. He is staring directly there. He is unmoving. You wish to see beyond, then, yes?
No, that's fine. I'm mostly looking for a pearl.
You may find those on the
high-quality
beaches and the
pearl.
shells.
Yes, well, I'm quite far from a beach, so I was wondering if perhaps you would sell.
If you wish convenience,
pearl.
then yes, I sell. I have this
Well,
one. And you see his hand move slightly, and then a mage hand appears, and it's the thing that grabs the ingredient. And you can see in a jar, it's like a pack of gobstoppers. You can see 3 or 4 of these pearls sitting in there. Each one is 125 gold.
All right. That's fair enough.
The cork is pulled, one of the pearls is set down. You require the one, yes. You wish
Yes,
to
only
see
the one.
what something is. You wish to delve into it, yes?
Yes.
Good. Set the coins in front of me.
Like one at a time or just the whole bunch?
It does not matter, for I will be here long after you are not. You may take your time. I have it.
I already left.
And the mage hand just scoops it all down. You hear clattering and sort of ringing and spilling on the wooden floor behind him. Thank you. May you have several days of enjoyment.
You as well?
I kind of want to throw something at him. Just small, you know?
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Is that what we're going to be like when we become great wizards?
Yes.
I may think of a career change.
Depends. Well, it depends. You could become a lich.
I could? I'm allowed to?
Well, not in this polite society, but, you know.
But you know, no sense of right or wrong.
Wow.
So man, I hope the volume's okay. I'm going to boost you guys up a little bit more. Because last time on the video, you guys were quiet. Alright,
Well, I've sold 1 silver ring, 1 platinum ring, 2 palm-sized rubies for a total, and that gives me 8 plus 8 gold profit for 4 items, 403.
you do notice that most of the gold you get is not of... It's not printings of Neverwinter. In fact, some of them are actually different shapes, but they've got the same sort of weight and heft to them. A few of these odd
It's
discs...
the right weight of gold, yeah.
Yeah, it's the right weight of gold. He even had a set of scales, which you were able to judge that on. Which he was also using to verify the weight of the items. But you do notice there's quite a few different... There's different faces, some of them... Most of them human. Some of them a bit worn out. And a few various naval scenes. A few simple like dunes with a moon above them. Definitely not local coins. What else were you going to find, Cornelius?
A map of the area, mostly around Raxis.
Alright.
At least the road to as well. Oops, accidentally went completely out of D20.
Okay. You continue to browse around, Droop close at your side as you're both keeping an eye out. And, I mean, there's only about 8 or 9 different wagons there, so it's pretty easy to see. Nope, not that one. That one has incredibly racy underwear and small clothes. I mean, you can see the kneecaps on those. You do see
You'll probably
one...
keep that in mind in case Castalia's interested.
Weirdly, one of the wagons is entirely hats. Incredibly various hats. One of them has to be sitting on the floor because the feathers in it rise up past the tarpaulin. Many points, many gestures, a lot of fanciness. And then the one just beside the mop and bucket one is... There's many tubes, there's writing, there are pages. There's bundles of scripture. Behind it a small halfling, busy away. Yes, you're looking at my stall. You want it?
Well, I was wondering if you had a map of the local area, mostly the roads towards Raxis.
Do I? It'll be expensive. It takes a lot of work to get a proper map made of any kind of accuracy.
How much are we talking?
We are talking several platinum pieces, my friend. If you do not have the funds, do not waste my time.
Alright, see ya.
Oh, wait! I mean, we might as well see if I have it first.
Well, you already said that if I did not have what you required, I just should not bother with your time.
Well, you look like a man who could probably cover the costs anyway. Anyway, let me just have a look. He disappears underneath a little counter he'd built up on the side of it. A few tubes are brought out, most of them very dusty. A few catch your notice, actually. Some are a little bit similar to that finely engraved one you found. And then outclattering is one tube in particular. It's quite long. Well, quite tall, correction. Very bland, though. It's just wrapped levers. And then as he starts to unfold, this is some of the area, yes. Here. Wait a minute, no. What gold do you have on you?
What maps do you have? That's a very rude question to ask a person.
It is, but time is money, and currently I'm spending it.
Well, you said yourself that I already offered you to leave.
Yes. Anyway. Okay, so take it in very quickly, and he just brings up the end of the map for a split second and then back down again. From what you could get, there was a very long line. There was details of mountains and forests as well, but all you could really glimpse was in the center was a very long line. There you go.
What is that a map of?
This map is of the trade route between Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate, Girat, Doma, and Raxis. If you want Chaldea or beyond, you have to spend more.
I'm probably going to only need something a little more local. I do not need that far.
Local, okay. Hang on. He reaches down and then brings up a large cleaver. Local. So which segment is the local for you then?
The Raxis area from Raxis to here?
Alright, as he rises up, he's about to bring it down and looks at you. That'll be 300 gold.
Alright, see you.
Strange man. And packs the map away.
Out of curiosity, one of those car tubes you had, why did you acquire those?
These are, he starts to scrape his finger along them, smells the dust. Yes, these were from Chaldea, yes. Yes, they stink of the sand, of the snow, yes.
Alright, thank you.
You're not even going... At least a copper for the courtesy.
I was just flicking one behind my back.
Must be a wizard. Alright, Malgern, you set foot in the Frillin Lace. And, good God, it's like you're at the Vistani party once again. Although everyone is in the act. There are no Elsters here. There are no children. There are people in their prime. Except at the very back. You can see that there's quite old folk, but they're getting wild as much as the rest of them. There is a chandelier swinging. There are people on the balconies above you. Well, on the, what would you call them, sort of, the balustrade, the gantry? Anyway, there's a second floor where you can look down. It's a very open plan, and it is just full of people. There are great piles of cushions where people are just spilling over each other. There is a massively long bar with about 6 different staff working at all the times. There are great casks being wheeled in up from the basement. Everything is just going on here. Everything assaulting your senses is of fun. It is perfume. It is wine. It is vomit. It is sweat. It is amazing. And there's live music as well.
And there's live music. Nice,
Yep.
nice touch.
There are men and women running around, exceedingly beautiful. There are so many people who are just made up. There is just a shock of color. There's, of the people, you can easily identify the staff because you can see that there's the general, there's the weary farmer, there's the guardsman on break. But everyone who works there is stylish, is beautiful. Like, they've been carefully preened and all. Also, the colors of the hair. Every one of them has some shade of orange, of red, of yellow. Just the colors of autumn.
I wonder what this place has to drink. I mean, if it's this amazing, imagine what the drink tastes like.
Do you walk up to the bar, or do you take a moment to take it all in?
I walk up to the bar, but very slowly. I'm looking around. I'm checking everything out.
You realize as
I'm
you're
not-
checking things out, there's a lot to check out. There is 6-packs, there are bosoms, there are bouteilles, there are rumps, there are derrieres, there's everything on offer here. This is a place
Too
of flesh.
big.
And as you see one steaming plate being brought across, also animal flesh. Nice. That was a massive bit of pork.
Ooh, I might have to get some food.
It's actually hard to see where they'd be eating that and then just realize, oh, but this is just being set near the floor on little cushions where just people can spill over each other to tug and tear at it. Which they're doing mostly to each other as well.
I mean, I've been to weirder places.
And behind the bar, as you're walking up to it, you do see one staff member coming behind it. And she is dressed in the finest of gowns. I mean, it's tight, it's restrictive looking, but is flowing silks. And she's also weird looking. She is a feline. She is a cat. A tuxedo pattern. But she still strides about 5'4" among the other staffers.
That last one caught me. I'm trying to think if I've. How common is that race?
Would you have been to any big cities?
Yeah. So I've probably seen one before.
Give me a history roll.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out, is if I would.
If you know I'm going, that's a big pussy.
Why'd you say that twice? You've not personally met any or worked alongside them, but you've heard people talk about the tabaxi before. They are very rare on this part of the continent. Normally they're known for coming from the southern continent of Chult. They are a full-fledged people. They are known to be very mercurial, very temperamental. Their whims and interests change very quickly, and their attention span is usually pretty low. They're mostly spoken about in very shifty terms. They will give you a wild night and then walk away with your coin purse. You know, that sort of thing. They will scrape your eyes out and then just try to rub you better.
That sounds exactly like what I would expect. As I get bit while petting one.
And yeah, the drinks are flowing thick and fast.
So
They're
did she just walk past me, or is she waiting?
No, she was further ahead and then walked behind the bar.
Oh, okay.
It's just, while you're walking over, you notice this, because most of the other figures in this place, not in a full state of dress. Her, full outfit.
I think I found the madame of the house.
There is also one fully dressed one as you get closer to the bar. He is, you'd almost call him a fop. Everything about his
thank God,
outfit
he's
is
wearing
pristine
clothes.
and clean. He is half orc, yes.
Half
Even-
orc. Ooh.
Yeah, half orc. His tusks are shimmering. Everything about him, he is clean shaven. His hair is in fine curl and tied back. And the moment that Madame walked in, he took a greater interest in what was going on at the bar. His eyes weren't roving across the place like anybody else would be tempted to. There's a lot on offer, just for a voyeur.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to just take all this in. This is.
Yeah.
I just wanted to drink, man.
This is a vast swarm of humanoids. And you do notice among the various workers there are some dwarven women. There are some dwarven men. I mean, their beards are incredibly luxurious looking, almost as good as Siegfried's, in fact. There are numerous elves, there are stubby-eared half-elves. There are 2 tieflings you spot who always step together. Both male. Oh, something's
I
crackling.
guess I'll walk up to the bar. Now that I've taken it all in.
Yep. You step up.
Bugger is getting overstimulated.
One elven woman in what you're assuming is just a corset, but you can't look over the bar. Says, "And what will you be having today? You're a new face, aren't you? Do you need someone to set you up?"
I would just like a menu, please.
"I'm afraid we don't have a menu. Those tend to go missing quick. I can tell you what we have. We have a couple of different wines, but you'll obviously want something harder, obviously. We do have 2 fine whiskeys. One is about 50 years old. The other is only 4.
Is she southern?
Yeah, that didn't start southern, but it wound up there somehow. And if you
Was that
want,
it?
if you've been wanting eaten, we've got various kinds of mutton and lamb, and we've also managed to slaughter about 4 of the pigs. So get it while you can.
I guess I'll have the old whiskey and the pork, please.
All right, we'll cut off what we can fill on the plate. That'll be about 15 silver, sir.
15 silver. All right, I slide the money across the bar.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'll say this is a bit overpriced, but the company is a lot more affordable and better value.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is this your first time at the Frill and Lace?
Yes.
Well, we're the biggest inn here, you see. We're also the brothel and the best bar. You don't want to go to the other one. It's a dangerous place. But here you can relax, you can unwind, you can undress, and you can enjoy.
I'll do that.
Well, if you need a fix up, just talk to me, or you'll see Salandran there at the gate, there at the door. There, he's perfectly fine. He'll be able to pick out your taste just as well.
I believe the pork will suffice.
Ah, a politician. And yeah, she gives you a little like stiff wooden chit, which just says it's just got a little etching of what you ordered on to hold on to until it's ready. As she starts busying herself with other stuff.
Damn, that was expensive.
All right then, Zarzul and Rain.
should have gone to the other one. I went to the fucking brothel.
It's a frill and lace. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, I know. I probably should have gone to the other one because I just wanted food. I just bought food from a brothel.
Hey, strip clubs have great chicken wings, I've heard.
I was about to say, you basically went to the Hooters because you actually just wanted good buffalo wings.
I know a lot of people who actually do that, so I can't knock it.
Yeah, I went to
What?
Hooters once. It was delicious. And I got
Yeah,
food,
no, there's
too.
nothing wrong with Hooters. Or are you talking about going to strip clubs for the buffet?
Oh, no, I haven't been to strip clubs, no. I've been to Hooters.
On the topic of strip clubs, Rain, Zarzul, you walk into the temple.
I don't think that's a strip club.
Well,
Surprise!
your experience
Interesting temple.
isn't hugely different from Malgern's, in fact, in that the people who are walking around are beautifully preened. Their outfits are, conservative, they are practical, but they are incredibly well cleaned, they are pressed, they are folded. There is not a blemish on the faces of the people around, either. Which includes what you assume is the... Yeah, she looks kind of familiar to the same sort of authoritative posture. It looks like the main what's the word? Priest, I suppose. Is a stout dwarven woman. Although she is curiously clean-shaven. Entirely. There is not a speck of hair on face or head.
Oh, Zazzle doesn't know this is too uncommon.
I seem mildly confused, but I probably would have changed up into something that was less travel worthy and more nice-ish.
Oh, you would have flicked on the holy robes kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I probably would have gone with some kind of a dark green dress, just because everybody else is all dressed all pretty looking.
I mean, can you just do that with what you're wearing now? Isn't
Yeah.
it magical to...
Yep.
Yep, that's what I was going to change.
It can become any outfit so long as it's not metal.
So I probably would have gone with a nice conservative green dress so that at least I have some color like everybody else around. So I lead Zarzul on in and I look around mildly befuddled because this isn't quite normal.
Yeah, you're used to just normal people that's hanging out here. But here, all the staff are beautiful. There's a handful of normal-looking peasantry that are just sitting on their knees praying quietly. But the staff are gorgeous. There's quite a number of different males, females of different races, and they are stunning. And as you're stepping inside, you do hear, "Oh, excuse me," and this petite but full-figured woman just steps past, and she is dressed as... She has a loose corset. You can see the strings are bouncing against her behind. There is just a bustle and no skirt. There are boots, and then she bows her head to one of the priests. Says, "I'm sorry. I'll begin with morning worship," and then she steps in behind. She enters the inner enclave.
I kind of just shake my head, mildly confused still. Give Zarzul a funny look.
Are you wearing your symbol out openly?
Yeah, probably it's a very small one. Yeah.
Okay, so you not got the big symbol emblazoned on the dress this time.
No.
All right.
At that point, I do back out again and double check that yes, we are in the right place.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely a temple building. You can hear there's still the murmur of soft prayers and whatnot.
Is there anything inside that indicates that we are in the right building?
Well, yeah, it's got pews. It's got a few little statues and figurines of symbols to pray to. It is a bit of an all faiths temple, so there's about 6 or 7 different little nooks that you can kneel at. And as you step back in, the woman who pushed past you is now standing there in the full, resplendent conservative robes. She looks to be setting about as just one of the other acolytes.
I guess when in Rome. So I kind of go to the lady that looks like she's in charge.
Yeah, you can recognize that type easily. You've met enough.
I go on up and say, "Excuse me, can I have a moment of your time?"
Oh, certainly, yes. As she turns round and then just leans an elbow lightly on the donation box. What can I help you with?
My lovely little friend here, and I pat Zarzul on the shoulder.
My
Seems
word,
to-
has he been cursed?
That's quite possible, but no, he normally looks like this.
Oh!
This
oh.
is normal. The whole of him is mostly normal. Zarzul, can you give me your hand?
I take my hand out and show her the back of my hand where some of the scales are not right.
She
gone
recoils in
white.
pain.
It's rather disconcerting.
She starts to lean in a bit closer. Oh, these are one of those kobolds. Well, let's see now. She does you do see that there's a flicker of magic as she starts to chant, and you can yeah, you recognize the spell fair enough. It's detect good and evil. Actually, is it that? No, that wouldn't work. That doesn't work, so she then tries a simple Yeah, so as far as I can tell, it just seems to be discoloration.
Good. I was worried.
Then again, I've never seen one of your people before, so I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. You say this isn't normal for your kind?
Not the white scale thing. No.
And specifically, this transpired after we picked up an item that we think is probably cursed. I've already tried to remove curse, and we've tried healing spells, and nothing's quite worked.
Also losing some feeling in that area, which is again disconcerting.
Oh, I should have tested with that. I'm sorry. I tend to the flock here. I'm not usually anyway. And so she just prods you with her finger in the silver bit. You don't feel a thing.
Do I? No, there's no feeling there at all.
That is very strange. It could be that the curse is gone, but the effect remains, and that can be very, yes, it may need something stronger than anything I can offer here. But it does... Has it progressed any further? Has it gotten larger?
Not noticeably, but yes.
Then you may have to thank your friend here for sparing your hand. It's just that it may take a greater level of magic to greatly restore the damaged part.
Is it likely to get worse, or do you think it has stopped for the moment?
The best I can tell, I'm not getting any kind of signal, or it doesn't seem to be any magical effect on your hand, so I believe the curse is gone.
Good. Oh. Where do you think I could find a greater magical power to heal it?
That is quite rare. You will need to get to a larger place. We are a bustling hub, but we don't have the finest, we don't... The Dias isn't exactly fully interested in us.
Yes.
You need to go to a full temple. We're just a little parish.
Okay, thank you.
Blessings on you both.
I
As she then nudges
drop
the
a-
donation box again with her elbow.
And
was
I
gonna-
nudge Zarzul.
drop a couple of silver into the donation box.
Oh, how fitting. If you'd like, we could say a little prayer.
Okay. I also dropped 10 silver on in.
She's offering if you'd like to say a little prayer.
I look around. Is there any little shrine to the dragon goddess?
A dragon goddess? You don't mean the five-headed one?
No.
Good. I'm afraid we would not allow that. I'm afraid we don't have any shrines to the dragons, but if you're sincere, they'll probably hear it.
Okay, I just take up a little corner in the shrine sort of area and just say a quick prayer.
As you kneel down, you're near a few other people, and as they look at the little dragon creature mumbling in his weird tongue, they shuffle slightly on their knees, further away.
Okay, Wolfgang comes over and sits down as well.
They shuffle further
It's making
away.
it really uncomfortable for them.
People are not
I'm
inclined
gonna
to
do
pray
my
near a
prayers
wolf.
over where the little Kellenvor shrine is, assuming that they got that one.
Yeah, Kalimvor is actually one of the larger ones there. The skeletal arm actually looks like it came from a person, but it is made of bronze. You just gonna have a good old pray there?
Yep.
Alright then, let's jump back. Cornelius, Siegfried.
Well, I'm going to start heading back to the wagon to make sure things are going well there. On
Yes,
the way,
as
I just
well.
keep an eye, seeing if there's anything interesting in the way of carts as I go past them.
Castalia, how bored do you look right now?
Fairly bored.
What?
I
Another
had
guard
expected
approaches you.
Wanted to be back a bit sooner.
Another guard approaches you. I could look after that wagon for you.
No, it should just be a little longer.
You a new worker at the Frill?
No, I'm a traveling adventurer and blacksmith.
Blacksmith. As he looks
Yes.
up and down the various transparent silks and wraps. Not a bit of a fire hazard, huh?
I don't smith in this.
Oh, what do you smith in? He's now got his spear planted in the ground, leaning against it a little bit.
I return an annoyed look. A shirt and trousers.
That's fair enough. No need to be getting any. I'm just curious about you. Don't see a lot of adventurers and that sort of thing.
True. We're on our way to Raxis. I'm just having a brief stop here for supplies.
Must be hot there. That looks more like the thing they'd wear down south.
It is from down south,
Oh.
but I find no chill in it.
So, I don't remember it raining last night.
One of the many joys of adventuring.
Alright then. Siegfried Cornelius, you're now about 10 feet away from this guy. As you're starting to approach back. So, what's the adventure in life like then?
Big teeth, claws, horrible mouths,
Oh, right,
and close to death.
Right, that sounds magical, that does. Alright, I'll leave you be. Have a good day.
So, anything interesting happened here?
No, just two guards offering guard the wagon.
Okay. Well, I sold a few of the items from our stash to try and get us some extra coin opposed to items, and I showed them the 403 gold that we got, and so we got a little bit more cash to opposed to jewels. So if you want to head off and check out the wagons, you're more than welcome to, and I'll look after the wagon.
All right, thank you very much, Siegfried.
You're a good friend.
Might be. And then I kind of smirk at the Castellia. I said, "Oh yeah, there might be a clothing wagon you might be interested in.
A what?
Clothing wagon?
They had things with
perhaps
just string on them.
Oh.
Anyway,
Some of it looked like it would fit me.
It might cover you, even. Anyway, jokes aside, I believe you were supposed. You had bought something that you wanted to make an armor out of.
Oh, those furs and such, but that was only if we were planning to head into the...
Fair enough. Anyway, I'll probably be, well, trying to make use of, drag out the pearl that I purchased.
It's a suppository. Isn't it?
Would Droop even know what that is?
Yes.
I feel like that's a very complicated word for Droop.
He's a
He had
wizard.
a good education.
Yeah. He probably had to pop one in for one of the old butlers. Oh. I thought it was just because we were riding so rough. Okay. So, Castellia, where are you headed then?
I suppose the lively.
Alright. As you enter in, you two are assaulted by the incredible, just vigorousness of it all. You've never seen too many impassioned people, and now you've seen more than your lifetime. There are all kinds, and there's a lot of attention on you as you step in. Because you seem dressed for the occasion. In fact, there's actually a few... You would recognize now, Malgern's wasn't really paying full attention. There are a few girls dancing and twirling in outfits a bit along the lines of yours. Also somewhere in between with the Vistani outfits too. But now and again, they're not getting to do a full performance because some of them are getting just lifted off the stage. And now and again, one of the male workers is jumping on to replace her. And funnily enough, you can see through all this rambunctiousness, through this rampant enjoyment, there's Malgern sitting at the bar, staring at his little wooden chit.
I walk over and take a seat beside the dwarf.
Malgern, as you look up, you do notice Castellia, of course, but then you also see that there was the elven girl who had talked to you previously, who catches your eye and then just looks at Castellia and gives a wink.
I just go back to eating.
Yeah, your food is slid in place, and so is the whiskey. You don't get to see the bottle, sadly, but it is a full tankard because you're a dwarf. Of course they'd serve it like that.
I find this acceptable.
It takes very little time of either of you sitting there before there's propositions made. Castellia, about 3 different men all step up. And 2 women. Malgern, there's about 4 different dwarven women who walk up to you. 2 of them are workers, 2 of them aren't. And also 1 elven man. He is the one who is rejected the quickest. The propositions are simple. They're just saying, do you want to have fun?
I'm already having fun. Thank you. I have this as I raise my tankard of whiskey.
You know there's more to life than just what's the foam in the cup.
No, there isn't.
The dwarven women are also a little sad, but they understand. They just say, that's fine stuff out there. That's alright. But still, in a few hours, hit us up, won't you?
I just nod to them.
We're dwarves, after all. It's always better in a clan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the three of them together.
Okay then.
Castalia, a lot of the offers are very simple. They're just asking, do you want to have fun? And as you two are sitting there, you are noticing that other people are coming to the bar asking the people sitting or people just standing around unmolested. And that's just the signal phrase, it seems to be. They're just all asking, do you want to have fun?
If we spend a night here, then yes.
Oh, well, you'll certainly be doing that, my friends. And stepping up along the bar is the tabaxi woman. She is very short compared to Castalia, even if you ignore the horns. We are the only inn. The only other place you could rent rooms would be in Al's lovely abode. As she shoots a little glance over to the incredibly well-dressed half-orc. My darling and I, we are the only ones who have rooms for rent. But it'll be fine. The rooms are never in use except for sleeping.
What can you tell me about your wonderful...
The Frinlace, it is a place of worship of the body, of the pleasures. It is a glorious little establishment. It used to be... We set this up as a temple to Sune. Or is it Sun? You may know her as the fiery hair woman. The goddess of beauty, of indulgence, of enjoyment. My girls here, my men, they work diligently to bring all of that beauty, of that art, of that gratification to those who have the coin, and then, during their off hours, they go to the temples to also help those worship and pray. Because we believe that beauty is in all faiths, not just our own. And, as the half-orc speaks up, they're pretty much the lifeblood of this town, which is why they basically run it. But I'm fine with that, isn't that right, darling? Perfectly fine, my darling. So, you're newcomers to the town, then?
I turn to face the half-orc and nod. Yes, we're stopping just for a bit before heading on to Raxis.
Raxis? That's a nice place. I've been there once or twice myself. I'm the burgomaster of this town. I technically run the place, when she lets me. I'm Alcano Lockery. You might have seen my nice little establishment next door.
It was very hard to miss.
Yeah. Whereas it's also basically a temple to Soon. We just love beauty here. You know, it's very important to be a shiny little beacon while the traders rock up. But while this is one to the body, I dedicated my mana to one of the mind. If you don't fancy a bit of company, then you can just walk through the halls and enjoy the artistry I've managed to acquire.
I might take you up on that. I would like to see some
I've got to say,
different art.
did you know a blue-skinned woman by any chance?
I furrow my brow in thought, and then shake my head.
She was, God. Oh, come on, I can never remember these names. It was Shishish, wasn't it? As he looks over at the tabaxi. Yes, darling, it was Sashish. She was a beautiful dancer. One with the water, as you appear to be, as she slides a cloth over to start wiping at the bar counter where your elbow was.
Wait a minute. Talking about the elf. Wasn't she drowned?
Your mic's up.
No.
I wasn't
He
talking,
was
I was
talking
just
to
talking
me.
to her.
And it was
Okay.
showing up on my mic.
Because push to talk is a foreign concept of this one.
Wait, you expect me to use push to talk?
No, voice activity is better. Anyway, back to the scene.
The name sounds familiar. Was she married?
You heard it last night. Yes, she was married to this wonderful fellow. He was fantastic fun, wasn't he? Yeah, he was a great sport. Fantastic.
Al-Hazi?
That was his name, yeah. So, do you know the two?
Indirectly.
Oh. Alright then.
We located the poor lord on our travel here. Fortunately, it was not in the best of conditions.
Ye gods. So he's gone and passed on to the great unknown then.
Quite.
What about Sazish?
That has actually been on my mind, for she was not at the location. And it seemed to be a bit questionable at the cause of death.
So, little tabaxi coughs in her hand. The outfit, then. It is hers?
We found... I believe so. It was with Al-Hazi when we found him.
It was with his body, and you're wearing it now.
Yes.
Haha, I'm not the only one that does that shit.
You hear a sending message. Under saying, what about those fucking boots? Anyway. You... I once was adventurous, so I know things are a little different and looser. It still worries me that... I suppose you were not to know. So for
No.
that, I guess we must be generous, but, well, she was a free spirit. She probably would not have minded, especially to one who is also dripping with waters. Please lift your elbow again, thank you. You are swelling the wood.
Oh, my
And normally that
apologies.
is the job of my girls. But, yes, sorry, this is a shock to find they are gone. We had them as guests in our home for many months last year. To think they die
At
now.
any time recently?
No, he went back down south. He said he was going to, tour the homelands again, and then we not see him. No messages either, nor from Sashish.
Was there anyone covetous of them?
Any that looked at her. I myself was tempted, as was my dear darling. I only made a casual pass. I was very drunk, very merry, and Sune smiles on that kind of enjoyment. Yes, she does. I do not, however. But they had many. It is a dangerous place to be a merchant, to be so prosperous. That is why she was his protection. She was wife, she was entertainment, she was bodyguard.
She was his bodyguard.
But she was wife, well, they told story to us once. She was slave he bought. He free her day after. Simple as that. He spent one night with her just in study, not in bed, and then just tore the collar from her. He gave her option to just find her life elsewhere or to stay with him, and he would give her everything. It was a beautiful story to hear. Even though he told it in the form of his poems. I should not speak ill of dead, but he was terrible with poems. Sune, she loves beauty and art, but those were almost an affront to her. If it weren't for sincerity, I would have burned them. But then she trained, she learned to become warrior, to fight for him, to protect him, to protect them both. And now he is dead and she was not there. They were never apart. But then she was also not, she was not like I, she was not like him. She was more of your kind. She was bred to a thing beyond our plane. You heard of the Jejene? Janas is Genasi, yes. It is born of the whims of the wish fulfillers, the Lux. Hello.
I got answer whether you know it or not, or
I mean, there's two of you in this conversation, Malgern and Costello. You can chip in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was involved. I thought it was just.
Yeah, you've been involved this whole time. You're sitting together.
Table.
Apparently, he's been so deep in the drink, he forgot he was in the conversation.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, he's just stuffed half of that pork butt into his mouth. It's just that thing where he presses his chin on the plate and then just pushes his face into the meat.
I've heard tales, but never seen one myself.
They are incredibly rare. Very, very flighty folk. They do not stay long, and she was one of the water. That's why she was so prized. That's why she was so beautiful. She just danced upon the water. So you have nothing to do with it? Because you seem to be a little fluid yourself.
No, that's the gift from a spirit in the swamp.
That does explain that, my dear, as she just points one little clawed hand at the clump of moss that is sort of slowly spreading down along the curve of a horn.
Is there a flower up there at least?
Not on that one.
One day the other flower will bloom.
Yes, I suppose that is... Yes, well... I too was cursed for a little while, but then I decided I'll marry him. So, yes, if you two wish for any delights and hookups, or maybe you wish to find something together to share, you just ask me. My name is Trembling Pearl.
Thank you for your hospitality, Pearl.
You're welcome. And Alcano just smiles and starts chuckling his jink. Yeah, Tabaxi names are a bit of a strange thing to get used to. It's after her favorite thing. Well, I am going to enjoy my estate once again. If you two fancy a walk around, be sure to bring yourselves, any friends you want. It is open to the public, although we lock up at night.
Certainly.
And welcome to our little nook in Sedernove.
Thank you for having us.
Gives a little bow of the head and steps on out. And you can see that Trembles herself is just staring at him the whole time. And you can see, just if you peer over the bar, you can see that there's a little dent in the skirt from where her tail is shifting around behind her. That man, so very, very interesting, isn't he? I'm still learning, and it's been years. Alright then, we're jumping to the other part. Let's see, let's go with Siegfried and Cornelius. We didn't get to do a whole lot last time.
yeah. Well, I'm probably scouring the wagon to see if there's any loose owl feathers from Pufflesworth.
There are quite a number.
Yeah, I just did some rearranging of the treasury, so it's all laid out, the last section of it that we haven't identified.
Also, Siegfried, now and again, as you sit there waiting while Cornelius is hidden by the tarpaulin, there's a couple of guards. Well, one guard approaches you. You alright, mate?
Yeah, not a problem.
I can look after that wagon for you.
No, it's fine.
You new here, then?
Just passing through at the moment.
You know, the best place to go is the Frill and Lace. Great place to spend the evening.
Yeah, I see that it's quite bustling over there. I might have a look at it once my shift's on over.
You know, it's more fun to go somewhere together, and I ain't got a night shift.
At that moment, I kind of stand up in the wagon and go, "You think anyone's interested in this? Ask for scrap iron." I mean, why do we have this still in the wagon?
Oh, we'll find some blacksmith that'll.
At that point, Zarzul and Rain, if you're heading back to the wagon.
I'm heading back, yeah.
Yeah. You'll be in earshot of that now.
Can we do a quick repeat? The cat was being a cat.
Cornelius, why are we bothering with this axe? It's just scrap iron. Why are we carrying this?
Well, considering I'm walking up, I could say, well, we can sell that now, you know?
Yes, and I suggest we do it because it's taking some room here.
Well, is there anything else we particularly want to get rid of while we're at it?
I imagine the two of them look at each other quite sternly.
Not the party, just items.
You know,
Well,
but
Goes
Alright.
down to Droop and Pufferworth.
the guard's still waiting there for a response from Siegfried.
Maybe another time.
Yeah, alright then. Can't say I
It
didn't
sounds
try.
like I'm going to be dealing with this lot for.
Yeah, family's always a bit difficult.
They can be.
That's why I'm not interested in having some kids. Enjoy your night, mate. Beautiful fucking beard as well. And he walks off, leaving you two to your, or leaving you free to your squabbling.
Or you've got Zars.
Zastel's just
No, I didn't.
he's looking around the other around the carts to see what's around at this point.
Well,
There's-
Do
Go
we
on.
want to try getting rid of that dagger, that bone dagger?
well, I'm kind of interested now that I have some of the components to try and see if I can maybe delve deeper into what this dagger is.
It's cursed.
Yes, but I would like to know if. By the way, did you figure out what happened with Sasul?
Unfortunately, we couldn't fix it, but as far as we can figure, the curse is gone. It's just not reversed. We're going to need to see somebody with more expertise to reverse it.
Well, if you're looking for more answers, I did meet this weird skinny elf. He might be having some sort of what's it called with other words for being a prophet or something like that.
A seer?
Yeah, he might be a bit having some sort of a seer quality to him.
Zarzul, you get that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is there any? I'm looking around to see if there's any sort of exotic weapons dealers or something.
There is one wagon that has many strange gilded weapons. Very decorative, very fancy. There are many
Okay.
strange types there. Great curved blades.
Do you think he might deal in more ornamental stuff? I mean, a Minotaur war axe might be a really interesting piece on somebody's wall.
Who are you
They
asking?
look rather.
Because they ever figure out the wagon.
Yeah,
I mean-
that. Alias
I mean,
and
maybe
Rain.
freshly smith, but this, I doubt it. I think this is probably just scrap metal.
It still has the stains from when it hit
You never
Siegfried.
know. There are some strange people out there.
I mean, you could try, but I wouldn't count on it.
I'm going to wander over to the wagon and ask the merchant to see if he's interested in buying a couple of oddities, possibly. I'm thinking mainly the bone dagger and the X.
Yeah. He has a very dark
We've
complexioned
also got a
dwarf.
great sword kicking round as well.
Yeah, we have the great sword. I'm looking into seeing if we can offload the chessboard.
We probably want to identify that first before we get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what I've gotten all the components for now.
Oh, okay. Because we
Well,
have to identify the coin. Have we figured out what the troll figure does?
No, we haven't run identify the coin, the troll figure, the shield that shows an illusion. We're pretty sure we know what it does, but we're not 100% sure. We've got 2 magic arrows, another mirror that shows us as old. Again, might want to just make sure that there's nothing extra attached. The shiny porcelain doll head that's somewhere around, not too sure where.
Yeah, you have not found
pouch
it.
of,
And sifting
yeah,
around the inventory.
pouch of skin.
And I will point, half of you lot said I was crazy when I mentioned the porcelain head doll.
Pouch
But we
of
still
skin,
haven't seen it.
muscle drawn skin with a black wooden pipe that we know is magical, not too sure what. Chessboard, a chain that's magical.
Yes, okay, Siegfried. Shh. We get it. We have a lot of stuff I need to go through.
I still got more after that.
Yes, fine. Let's find ourselves a room so I can have some peace and quiet to go through all the items, okay?
Peace and quiet, yeah.
Well, do we want to hit up that bustling inn that everybody's gone to?
He's quiet.
Yeah, I just kind of look at Raiden. What part of the words peace and quiet did you miss?
Well, there's only one other place that people are going into, and that doesn't seem very peace and quiet either. So unless you have a better place to rent a room,
I must admit I do not.
well then,
I could pitch a tent.
oh dear.
I don't think they're gonna be too happy about us putting up a tent in the town square, Troop, but thank you.
Okay.
Oh, there's plenty of tent pitching going on here.
Someone picked up on it.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I just don't want to think about Troop pitching a tent. Dirty, foul people.
I do officially start giggling and try not to make a response.
Please
Yeah,
don't.
he's clueless. He
Rum Rusher
was
heard
just
that.
offering to pitch a tent. That's all.
Yeah.
Rum Rusher heard that, right?
If you save her name, they won't show up. They're very shy.
That would have made perfect art.
Anyway, back to the scene. The squabbling of accommodations.
Well, I will take a look at the other place, and you can take a look at the squint my eyes, the Lazy Inn.
To be really frank, it kind of sounds like a brothel.
How would she know what one of those is?
I've been to the big cities. I've seen brothels.
Also, you said there were lightly clad people out in front of the building. I don't think it requires a lot of imagination.
Yeah, there's a lot of people walking out without shirts, without trousers, without skirts. And then some of them
I mean, don't
walking
get me
straight
wrong,
from there
I've not
into the
worked
temples.
At one, but
Rain, what's a brothel?
you'll find out when you're older.
Will I? Okay.
I look very relieved that that worked.
He is incredibly content. He will find out when he's older.
Or better yet, ask Cornelius.
Oh, okay. Cornelius, what's a brothel?
You'll find out when you're older.
Okay. He starts to just sit and arrange all the spare Puffleworth feathers.
If he sheds much more of those, we're gonna have a pillow.
Meanwhile, Puffers Wolf is trying to chew on the wheel of a wagon.
No, bad boy.
Good, give me a strength save.
Ah, hell.
Actually, I'll let you roll animal handling.
Uh,
So this is part of you teaching him.
Jesus Christ.
She did spend a feat on it.
Yep. Yeah, you're starting to get through. I mean, you taught him not to bite your finger, and he's starting to hear the same sort of sounds out of you. Okay, I guess he shouldn't chew on the wheel. He does dig his beak into the dirt for a moment, though.
okay, dirt's okay.
Oh,
At
actually,
this point, I look to Siegfried's still there, right?
Yep.
Which when I look to Siegfried and say, "How about you check out the brothel? It seems much more your kind of thing."
Well, why would you say that, Rain?
He's a guy.
So,
When women walk into brothels, they get propositioned.
I thought that was the same thing that happened to men.
Well, yeah, but usually the men, they're coming up to you expecting you to pay them, so it's a lot easier to say no, and it's a little less creepy.
From what I can see of the people coming out, it's an equal opportunity establishment over there.
I'm quite content staying with the wagon, thank you.
Some of the pairings and triplets that are walking out are actually an unequal opportunity. There's a lot of height differences. There's a lot of races. But yeah, pretty big gender divide.
actually, what am I thinking? I'm walk over to one of the nearby guards. Would you happen to know which of these establishments would be the best suited to rent a room for a quiet night?
Oh, if you want a quiet night, I suppose. We'll see. We have a little arrangement here. The Frill and Lace is the main inn. The rooms are the one thing you don't do the fun stuff in. And then there's the master's. Sorry, I should tell you him. He's called Alcano Lockery. We call him Master Lockery. He runs the place, but he also uses the big manor house as sort of something of a tavern, but he doesn't really charge much for it. If you want a quiet night, that's usually your best bet. Otherwise, you could try your luck on the pews in the temples.
Thank you. And I hand him over a gold coin for the help.
Cheers.
Well, it looks like our situation has been solved. To the manor house, then.
Agreed, let's go with the quiet one. That's not a brothel.
Siegfried, while we're talking about this to each other, you're noticing there's a lot of back and forth of people from the brothel and the manor house sort of swapping around. And possibly there's even Castalia and Malgern, unless you guys are still in the Frill and Lace.
I would have left after eating. So
I
probably
likely would have left a little bit after that.
So
And
yeah,
headed
among
for the manor house.
all these couples who have enjoyed quite a lot, you do see Malgern, and slightly behind him is Castalia. And there's a lot of whooping, calling. There's still proposition being made to the both of them.
And that's why I didn't go in.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to be out. Oh, what's it called? What's the word I'm trying to come with some sort of insult about out competition.
I mean, the whiskey wasn't terrible.
You wouldn't want to be outranked.
Outranked.
Something like that.
Oy, oy, oy. Can you even think an intelligent insult?
I think I just did.
I give him that look and I just shake my head and go, oy, oy, oy.
At this, Zazzle's going to wander over to that weapon merchant.
My word! You are a very strange little man. You are a man, yes?
I get that a lot. Yes, yes. It's just it's one of those strange thoughts. In our travels, we've come across it's not a huge item of interest, but maybe to the right person it might be. A great battle.
You are
axe
new to
was
haggling,
wielded
aren't
by-
you?
Yes, I know. I get by.
I will give you a cheap piece of advice if you put a copper on the counter.
Okay, I put a copper on the counter.
He slides the coin to him. Do not reveal your hand at the very opening. Try to speak about your item in a good way.
Okay. Maybe. We'll see. I'm new to... Anyway. Minotaur battle axe. Large, imposing,
Brutish,
bristled
primal.
from an undead minotaur as well.
Possibly cursed.
No, unfortunately not.
Used in the murder of innocents.
Quite possibly.
Yes, you're still not. Tell you what, this coin is still for that same lesson. I am teaching you that lesson again. Speak well of the items you're trying to sell.
Okay. Wielded by a great minotaur warlord in the defense of its lands.
Now, sir, that will cost you a silver. Because I have another important piece of advice for you.
I'm running out of silver.
I will take a gold in place of silver.
I don't have a gold to my name.
How many copper do you have?
I've got 6 silver coins left.
There you go. Slide a silver over if you want.
I'll slide the silver across.
Do not be deceitful. I already know what this item is, and now you are trying to tell me different. I am teaching you. Do not fucking lie to me. We know this is the axe of a murdering monster that perhaps is cursed. I know the facts now. You do not need to try and pretend otherwise. It is greatly insulting to myself. He is saying all of this, by the way, with a smile.
And so is Azel.
So you want me to buy this ugly, evil axe, yes?
I was wondering if you might be interested in such a thing.
I will need to see it. Can you bring it to me?
I shall try. I wander over to the cart, grab said large heavy axe, and bring it back.
With your strength, it's awkward to carry, but not hard.
It's just awkward.
There's just a lot of looks at this little tiny kobold and this like 7-foot long axe.
I just imagine it's dragging behind me, just here.
A few times it's clinking on the
I have
cobblestones.
19 strength. Strength isn't a problem.
Yeah, it's just the handling of it. My word, it must be very light. Perhaps it mithril. No, it's chipped and scored. Price of it. Let me see blade. And the blade still has the stains from when it hit Siegfried. Oh yeah, so it's definitely used. Let's see now. He reaches down for a moment. After he covers his hand in a cloth first and then reaches down and grabs it and sort of hefts it for a bit. Oh yeah, it's dense at least. This is weight. I don't know how you carry it, but I will give you... I will give you 4 gold for it.
5?
5 is asking a lot, my friend, although I do give you credit for asking, but you should have started with maybe 5 silver, 3 gold, 5 silver, work up from there. That lesson is free.
Thank you.
No, I'm not doing 4 gold for this. I have no need of this. It is very ugly, but it is a function, and I could maybe sell it to a lumberjack, maybe to woodsman, maybe even to simple city guard who is boastful and foolish and drunk. For myself, it has no use, it has no purpose, it is quite ghastly. And maybe even curse, so maybe I should knock off a coin, I suppose. Or maybe you take the 3 gold now, yes?
Yeah, I'd take 3 gold now.
If you want, I can give you one more lesson. It will cost you 1 gold. It is very important
No,
lesson.
I think no, it's all right.
Alright, my friend, travel well, as he just slides out the 3 gold coins. Now, what am I going to do with this? It won't even fit my wagon.
Sir, if I may be of assistance,
You
for a
may,
measly
yes.
5 silver, I will take this away and
It's almost adorable, but also insulting in a way. But it is you, little creature, so in a way I don't feel like it's from someone who matters. So no, I will not be offering you silver. If you wish, just go away from my cart now. The whole time smiling, happy, friendly.
good day, sir. Have a
Good-
lovely afternoon.
Good day, whatever you are. Alright, now let's jump to the other side of the group. We have the people in transit. We've had I mean, are y'all... I think you all are going to the manor house apart from Zarzul right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Castalia Malgern, it's up to you if you notice the rest of the party approaching, or you just head on in.
I wait and stop
Yeah,
to.
I'll take notice.
You reunite.
You're back. And I see you found by Melgorn as well.
He was enjoying a good breakfast, and we also learned a little more about Al-Hazim's wife.
Ah, well, as we have large room in the manor here, I'm sure you can tell us more.
Siegfried, roll me a perception check.
Not doing too good today.
Not too good, but you've got the sense that you're being watched. No one else seems to be reacting or sensing anything weird, but you feel like there's eyes on you.
With our big card stuff, new people, yeah, that's normal.
And so you all step in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay with the cart.
You walk back to the cart to find the little dragon creature sitting there for now. And his wolf. As you lot enter inside, it is beautiful. You were expecting Cornelius from the look of him. Gaudiness, tackiness, horrendously overdone. It is crisp and pure. It has deep purple and red painted walls, but very, very subtle patterns in it when it's a slightly different shade. But most of it is covered by just great portraits. There are sculptures placed everywhere. There are revered little items in glass cases. There is so much here, and it's quite a contrast because this is all beautiful. This has plush carpeting. It is warm inside. It has a large stairway leading up, wooden panel floors varnished. But it's also got people who are half dressed, some of them clinging to each other. There's the smacks of lips, there's giggling. And people are just sort of walking around, mostly keeping their hands off each other, but some not, as they just observe and admire. Al-Kano himself is actually down one of the hallways as well. He is visible.
Now, where is the manor of the Lord of the Manor? As I kind of look around, because I don't know it's him.
You just know he was a well-dressed gentleman.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't expect it to be a half-orc.
Exactly.
And none of you other fuckers who already know it are going to say anything, huh?
Are they even here? Hello, Americans?
Yeah, we're here.
Answer a wizard.
Could you repeat the question?
I'm.
I
I'm
was gonna say,
questioning.
I didn't get it either, come to think of it.
What the fuck, you lot? Pay attention.
I'm sorry, I got
I was,
distracted.
I was asking where the Lord of Lord of the Manor is because I don't know who the fuck he knows.
I point to the half orc and give a wave.
I bet you fuckers all switched off one sentence into the description as well.
No, actually, my cat came in and brought me some things up.
I've got a Pufflesworth on my lap.
What's your
I've
excuse,
got one on my
Mulgern?
keyboard and one on my chair.
You fuckers. Anyway. Yeah, they point out the half-orc gentleman as he's admiring a very... Well, you can't actually see it from here, but it is a golden framed picture. It is huge. It is from floor to ceiling.
Ah. Excuse me, sir.
Ah, yes, you are... Ah, you were traveling with the rest of them.
Oh, you're already met.
I have met the two there. The lovely red-skinned woman in very little, and the dwarf who seemed to be shoving his face inside most of the pig.
That sounds
Ah,
about
yes.
right.
Well,
Oh,
my name
yes.
is...
I should introduce myself first. After all, this is my home. I am Alcano... I'm sorry, I trip over my own name. Alcano... It is hard to speak with the tusks. I am Alcano Lochry.
Alcanor.
Oh, yes.
Well, Alcanor, if I may just call you that.
Well, I wish you'd say it correctly. It is Alcano. It is hyphenated. My family, they came from Jura.
Ah, Alcanor, was that correct?
That is acceptable, yes.
Well, I'm sad I cannot be more precise.
I am only teasing.
My name
Yes,
is-
it is fine.
My name is Cornelius Sent, and me and my group is interested in renting one, if not several rooms for the night.
Well, it is more of a... Each of the rooms is more like akin to a barracks, so there are beds, but not much separation. But as you may notice, not many people mind that. You are fine to
see.
hang up any modesty screens if you wish.
That will do. How much will be for a night?
For a single night, it is nothing. It is a courtesy, a welcoming of new travelers.
Ah, well, thank you.
And I see you might be a man of standing yourself. I see the little emblem there. Those are two C's.
Yes, matter of fact, it is. Perhaps you've heard.
Sorry, what did he say there?
Perhaps you've heard of us.
Oh no, I'm afraid not. I'm assuming you are more to the westwards. I recognize a bit of the accent.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I have not personally travelled there myself. Responsibility keeps me here most of the time, and then sometimes I see relatives down in Doma and in Jarat. Little of the accent slips out when I think of the place. But you are welcome in my home. It is a place where, I know many disapprove, but it is a place for the common people to enjoy as well. I have the wealth, I have the funds, so I bring them beauty, I bring them art, and this one... Now I think of this one. And as you start to behold it at last, it is Castalia's outfit on the figure of this blue-skinned woman. She is standing upon the surface of the fountain outside in the centre of town, in mid-pose of a dance. I assume you know of where she got the outfit from.
I might have an inkling.
Yes, she was a beautiful dancer. I had that commission not 3 years ago.
Very talented artist.
Yes, we are very lucky. Most of them pass through here. Well, I say most of them I could not compare to other places, but many do. And I like to, for notable guests, I like to. I'm thinking still, you're only here for a few days?
Yes, if even that, we're mostly up here to resupply and then be on our way.
I must admit I was wondering on if your lady there would acquiesce to a picture. In fact, I'm thinking maybe her and the half-elven.
I look mildly befuddled.
From across the hall. About 20 feet away.
Isn't that close enough to hear?
If you want to, yeah.
It's more if you're paying attention or not, or
Yeah, with that
just
ear
moving
shape,
around the room.
probably hear across the room.
After all, this is just me going up to talk to a man about a room. It's not exactly an interesting conversation starter.
She probably
I'm
tunes out
probably
all the
trying to do is
Cornelius
make
bits.
sure Pufflesworth doesn't eat anything.
He seems kind of befuddled by all the perfumes and scents. He doesn't know what to chew on because none of it looks natural enough.
Wait, there's more than one scent? Damn, there's more Cornelius.
Yeah.
And I wonder, you're a man of entertainment, yes? You have leisure and comfort.
I don't know if I would say I'm a man of entertainment, more a scholar of intellect, more.
A scholar, yes. Was there anything else that filled your table apart from a book? I am in need of a opponent. I have not played against a mind for a while. Well, not one I have a chance of beating, at least.
Well, one learns more from defeat.
You'd say that all I've learned is that my wife is a poor winner.
Oof.
And as he's saying that there, she does step in behind you lot. She's not walking up to him or anything, it's just she entered the building and most of you are still standing around in the entrance.
Well, once we settled in, I might be interested. However, for the painting, I'm assuming you're going to have to ask the ladies. They're not exactly under my staff.
Are they not? Okay then. Well, I was going to ask them anyway. It's very rude not to, and to have them be held in such a way by so many. In fact, maybe your dwarf friend as well. I do not have many of the bearded kin.
I just do a slide up next to her and say, though the half-elven lady, if you could converse, I would not mind if she stayed.
I don't know, we don't usually... I'm looking at the dress. I'm assuming she's not the kind to get into the frivolities that much. We are something of a party town. But you never know. Maybe
Trust me, if you saw her last night, you would not think otherwise. You would think otherwise.
There probably is a bundled up Vistani coat now in Rain's possession. Whether she was given as a gift or she woke up with it, we'll never know.
And I am now glaring at Cornelius from across the room.
How can you hear it?
Give me a perception, because he was whispering there.
Oh, he's whispering, okay.
Yeah.
He was whispering that.
In any case, I think if we get I think most of us would like to get to our rooms, settle in, and otherwise figure out what to do for the rest of the day, if that's okay.
No, of course. Although I would like to push an offer of I have a great balcony behind, and there's a wonderful view. I haven't shared it with people of, let's just say, standing. So we crack open a bottle of wine and we watch the sunset. How does that sound?
That does sound tempting.
And your friends, they are happy to wander.
after Zazzle wanders into the place, with Wolfgang in tow.
There
Hello, friends.
are a couple of guards by the stairs. I step forth. Is that your dog, mate? Is that your dragon
No,
thing? As he looks at Malgern.
Excuse me.
Does that thing
I look
belong
at
to
the guard
you?
and say, no, of course that's not my dog. That's my wolf.
Is that thing yours, sir?
Is he talking to me or?
Yeah, he's talking to
Wolf,
Malgern. Does he own
No.
Zarzul?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Oh,
I was thinking the wolf as well. Oof. No, that thing is not mine. That thing is a nuisance, to say the least.
Does this one belong to any of you lot?
You jest.
Is that to the rest of us?
Yep.
What, the wolf?
No, the little scale blighter.
He's our traveling companion.
The guard kneels down for a second, looks Zarzul square in the dots. Because you've still got that hood up, don't you? You're a creepy little fucker right now.
I pull back the hood because that's only black.
He raises one finger up and starts to wave it left to right.
Sir.
Just follow the test. Follow my finger.
I watch the finger go back and forth.
He then nods to one of his buddies who brings out a little mirror and shows it. Now, who's that in there?
Why do I need to identify my reflection?
Okay. That's alright, he sees a reflection. Alright then. Have a good day, sir. But, the
You
wolf
too.
isn't allowed. Sorry, no animals on the premises.
That brings up the next thought I was having. Is there anywhere we could park our cart safely for the night?
I mean, if you pay the town guard a silver, they'll watch the cart for you. It's a service we offer.
Sounds like a reasonable deal. I've a shout of silver.
Yeah, we'll just pull it up with the rest of the merchants and keep an eye on it. Most of them are...
Excellent, good sir.
Alright then. He takes the coin from a little kobold. I'll pass this on to one of the other guys.
Have they just not noticed Pufflesworth, or is it because it's Zarzul that is different?
It is because Pufflesworth is an owlbear. They are ignoring Pufflesworth as best they can, even as the claws start to catch in the carpet. Although the half-orc does give a look and just say, your friend there with the owlbear, that's a pet?
Yes, somehow. I don't even know. Somehow I was passed out during that time.
Meanwhile, while you look across the group, you do notice there's this tabaxi woman standing there. Just sort of amused as she watches the guards and Zarzul and whatnot. Well, it is interesting, at least. You don't see many of the small ones. It may have to relax the requirements a bit. Very well, it can stay, just... It won't savage any of the guests, will it?
Not unless they ask nicely.
Oh, Pufflesworth is very nice.
As Pufflesworth starts to claw at the carpet.
Yeah.
At which point I firmly say no.
Animal handling?
Crime netly. And watch, this is going to be the one time that I epically fail. No! Haha!
He does stop, but, I mean, there's a bit of damage done. Well, that'll be tough to replace and repair, but, it's a novelty in that Ensoon is all about new sensations and experiences. Very well, it can stay. I'm afraid the wolf, however, cannot. As well trained as it may be, it is much too close to a regular danger we have here, my little friend.
It's a pity. Actually, tell it to watch the cat.
Wolfgang shuffles out, annoyed,
Yeah.
scaring the shit out of several people who are just coming in the door as they watch this moody wolf walk out. Ah, the poor little doggy, but it is for preservation of the artwork and whatnot. And I see you took up the invitation. Welcome to my home, to our home. As this tuxedo catwoman is speaking to you all.
Hello, friend. I am Zazu.
You are a
Oh, my
tiny
hand.
little dragon man.
Sort of, yes. I am what's called a kobold.
You're adorable is what you are.
Yes, well.
And she does reach down with this like soft pawed hand, grabs at your cheek and sort of pulls a little bit. So cute! He's like a little child.
Yes, well. Yeah.
There is also an unsettling quiet purr as she starts to like rub her hand against your rough scales. Oh, he has a texture too. He is a very little guest. I like him. Tell me if you wish to find... I will give you recommendations on any of my girls in the Frillin List, or perhaps you like a gentleman. We have a few gnomes that would be quite willing.
Maybe another time.
Trust me, it is an almost heavenly experience. We offer only the best that Sune blesses us with. I say that right? I think I was meant to say provide. And how about the rest of you in this little awkward moment?
I'm just watching this mildly amused.
I believe Siegfried's still back at the car.
Yep.
No, Siegfried came in.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, you were with them. Oh no, you did go back to the cart, that's right.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
I see Wolfgang kind of come up to the cart.
Yep, you also see a guard coming up to the cart who keeps looking behind him at this wolf that seems to be following him. And he starts to look over at Siegfried. That's your lot, right? That's one of your lot?
Yeah.
Good, I was about to call the town guard on it. Don't let that fucking thing walk around by itself, sir.
Well, I'm not too sure why he's come back at the moment. I mean, he was going with Zazu back then.
And as you're talking, Wolfgang just jumps up beside you and sits there.
I give him a bit of a pat.
Zarzul, how friendly did you intend Wolfgang to be with the other party members?
Reasonably.
He doesn't really lead into it or anything, but he doesn't growl.
Okay.
Right, well, I'm still paid to look after the cart, so I'll just be here. Standing here.
You need to have it moved anywhere, or is it just
Oh,
okay?
yeah, that's right. Lead it round to the wagons there. I'll
Okay.
hand guide you in,
Oh.
it's fine.
Yep.
We'll take the horses to the stable. We do have one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll be back. Don't think it's a dereliction of duty. I'm just leading the horses away. We usually put a guard in place, but since you're already there, you know.
Yep.
Okay. Just so you know, we don't leave your cart unattended at any moment. It's just, you know, you're here. And off he walks. Siegfried, give me another perception check.
I'm not doing good today.
You still have the feeling that you're being watched. And it's a little darker now. Most people have gone in for dinner, really. Not a lot of people just lollygagging about, but it still feels like someone's watching you. Anyway, back inside. Are you guys milling around? Are you mingling?
I probably went up to the roof to start identifying the shitload of things we need identifying.
I go to follow him just because I want to see what this stuff is.
You know what? I completely
I'm
forgot
like-
about Steve.
Oh yeah, Steve.
I completely forgot about him. Steve wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have imposed anything on him. He just sort of shuffled off. I completely forgot about him.
So did we.
But yeah, he would have just sort of hopped down, go to find something to eat. Probably would have followed Malgaren and just sat there moody. Which fucking
Are
map?
you saying Malgern wasn't the most moody person at the bar?
He was angry moody. Steve wasn't. Steve was sad moody.
Okay.
Which fucking map did I put this
Just
in?
wanted breakfast and everybody's fornicating. What is...
Everybody else is capable of having a good time.
Are you sure about that? Because Rain wasn't really getting to do it either. Very judgmental.
I just don't want to go up into a brothel. I have standards when I've got a fancy symbol on my chest.
You took.
She only
you
wants to.
you
only
turned
wants
that
to do it
off.
with-
You're just
with
in a
Slade's
green
winning
dress.
cards.
You don't have your fancy symbol on your chest now.
I had a small one, remember?
You got your holy symbol at least. Okay. Just put this in time. Just had to fiddle around for a little second there. So, correction, what are you guys doing then? So, Siegfried's checking out the room to do identify.
No, not Siegfried. I am.
Sorry.
Cornelius.
Yeah. Castalia,
And I,
what are you up to?
I'm looking over the painted image.
Yeah, as you can see, it is...
And
She's-
seeing if I can mimic the pose.
You can very easily, in fact. It's among the steps you were taught at the Vistani. And for some reason, those have really sunk into you. Like, you're used to... You've done a few things where you've been taught by rote and movement and routine, but the dance pose just comes naturally. It's a little awkward to shift away, and also you do realize, I don't know the entire step because I've got a tail. She doesn't. So you're having to take a little moment there, and you're getting a lot of looks, and there's a good mix of genders watching, but yeah, as you're just trying to wiggle this tail around and work out where to put that for your proper balance. But there's almost emotion in the picture. It was very well captured. And yeah, there are a few more propositions. Mainly, a few are you just want to have fun, but a few are, could you please dance for us? If we go there, and they gesture at one of the rooms, there's a live band, and man, we'd love to see you dance. You are amazing looking.
Surely.
There's a nice bit of celebration, quite a few wine glasses clinking. As you're led in, there is a band, there is a bunch of bards playing. And there's already a few people twirling and swirling. They're all doing their own thing. But it's all very enjoyed and very, very warm in the room. There is also quite a few curious glances behind you now and again, as they notice the wet footprints on the wooden floor. Malgaren, what are you up to?
I'm kind of just minding my own business. I kind of not comfortable in this sort of situation. Wasn't prepared for this.
People are friendly and loving, and you're not comfortable.
Oh, loving, yeah. That's loving, air quotes. This is very strange to me. Kind of
Give me an-
keeping to myself.
Are you observing any of the decor, any of the decorations?
I would be checking everything out because again, this is all new.
Give me an investigation as you're just sort of shuffling about. You're trying... See, the problem is you can't really linger anywhere because then new couples arrive.
Yeah.
And you also realize as you're walking, there's a few dwarves behind you. And they're a little distracting. But you do reach one wall,
Yeah.
which is... It is a trophy. It is a trophy display. It is heads of deer, many points of warthogs. There's one boar that takes up nearly half the wall of just its size. It's sort of mundane but impressive enough. None of these are monsters you'd really get paid for. These are just wild animals. But you're managing to get stuck into it, but you don't really attract much conversation. Some of them lean around. There's a few that try to give you the eye, and then they just sort of walk on, looking for more fun.
So they're not like casing me, are they?
Except for one. You can hear a boot, then a funk. Boot, then a funk. And there is a much older dwarf there. He is about half your width. He is shirtless, he's just walking around in his shorts, but everything on him is withered and old. His arms are just shallow little things, just twigs basically for a dwarf. His beard is still pretty full, although the hair has gotten very brittle. So it's voluminous, but sort of curly and looks like it would crinkle if you put your hand in it. That's the impression you get. I've been checking you out, boy.
Excuse me?
I was looking at that thing you're swaggering around with.
Excuse me?
You're working your hip, boy. That's a fancy hammer you've got.
Please mean the tosser. Please mean the tosser. Please mean the tosser.
Where'd you get it?
I found it.
You stole it.
No, I found it.
Found takes a circumstance. How'd you find it?
Trying to think about how did I find that off of a mob or that?
I think
we just found that in the cave.
I think I
can't-
had it at a well at that point. I think that's probably one of the first magic items we found.
It was before the boot.
Should have taken notes. There was always going to be a test. D&D is nothing if not a pop quiz. How'd you find it, Mulgern?
Yes.
It didn't look like it belonged to anyone, so I don't see how I could have stole it.
Oh God, pretty.
That's your mom's hammer.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Why
didn't
do you
seem to
have your
much
mom's
use-
hammer?
Because I found it with his book.
Who'd you take it off?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that dead dwarf was your mom. I think your mom died.
He's been dead 4 centuries, boy. Who'd you take that off?
I took it off him then. He ain't gonna
Don't
need
give
it.
me no shit. I'm the one who sent it out. I used to own that hammer. Who'd you take it off?
Oh, shit.
He is getting riled up now and stomping towards you with his peg leg.
Because I can't remember.
It's been
the
6
guy was
months, so
dead.
Malgern might not remember either.
The dwarf was dead.
You're gonna love this next bit. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh no.
because I'm super good at those.
Yep. This is a test of memory and recollection.
Intelligence is a dump stat.
I mean, you didn't get it from a dwarf, so hey, that's something.
Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was on that. Wasn't the same dwarf that had the shoes?
No, that
No.
was your cousin.
You had to wait.
Well, he didn't need those either. Oh god, I really am a murder hobo, aren't I?
I will give you grace. Cornelius may be walking in the area. If you beseech him, he might remember.
I can't.
God damn it!
I will give Siegfried an intelligence check. Or Cornelius an intelligence
I'm in the
check.
cart. I don't know.
I don't
what's
know why I
going
get
on.
those names confused. They're completely different. I think it's because Siegfried just sounds more sort of, German, Danish
Sage.
kind of thing. Siegfried. Anyway. So yeah, Cornelius is walking past as he's heading up to the balcony.
I can just pull him aside, be like, Cornelius, you mind telling this man that I did not steal this hammer?
Oh, you're ganging up on me now, huh? You've been caught, and you're gonna try and bushwhack me. And they're starting to get a crowd gathering now.
Ah. It's hard to press on this small ass screen now. I somehow decided that I had an
Oof.
ability.
Yeah, imagine it's.
There we
nightmare.
go. Nope, I don't remember either. It's like we don't care when you got it.
Oh god.
I think Corvus might die.
It's just wow. Yeah, you vaguely recall there were gnolls. You remember taking cover as arrows were launched at you in the dark.
Okay, I think I remember this. There were some living, some dead, and it was just not fun.
I don't know what to tell you. I think it was around the second ambush on the way to the town.
Yeah, see, we were fighting gnolls. I didn't steal it.
Maybe you got it off one of those. I frankly can't remember. It seems like
there
you
was
always
there was
had
a
it.
wagon, wasn't there, Cornelius?
Oh, you're taking time here to get your story straight. Good. Guards! Guards!
Hell.
And a few of the guards are approaching.
Well, shit.
Just calm down.
I was sending that to
Now, what
a
is it?
relative in Neverwinter, and now it's on your belt. How are you explaining that to me, Beardlin?
How do I know you're telling the truth? I don't even know who the hell you are.
Really? That's the approach you're gonna take, huh? I'll tell you. I'll tell you simply.
Okay, they tell us.
You, Jared! That hammer, I owned that, didn't I? Oh, fuck yeah, that's right, yeah. You used
What,
to
do you
throw
have
that
a
about all the
receipt
time as a
for it?
party trick. You see, mate, I am Ironhorn, alright? Colin Ironhorn, that was my hammer, and I was sending that to a relative, and now you've got it. You know what that means? That means somewhere there was a thief, and I'm thinking it's you.
You have no proof of these claims.
Yeah, you realize the modern law doesn't really work the same in D&D. The guards do walk up, however. Alright, what's the problem here? What's she getting on about Colin? Did he step on you or something? He hasn't spoken yet.
Well, it would appear that this gentleman apparently accuses my friend of having stolen something in his possession.
They're blabbing and conflabbing about it, saying they found it in the battle and that. They killed my nephew, I know they did. They took it from his house and then they came here, just to rub salt in the wound.
Now, I can assure you, unless your nephew was a gnoll, we have not killed him.
So you're saying my family are fucking gnolls? You're saying I'm garbage, is that it? As he starts to stomp up to you.
God, how tall is this man?
He's a dwarf.
At least shorter than me.
Yeah,
So looking down.
yeah, he's about
Do
4
the
inches
rest
shorter
of
than
us hear
Malgern.
this?
Oh, right, he is a dwarf. Okay.
Yeah. He's about a head shorter than Malgern right now. As he just sidles right up to Cornelius. He can't look up, though. He's too hunched forward.
I try and be polite and get that, at least go back a little bit so you can at least look me in the eye.
He tries to take a swing at you as you do. Oh, what the fuck did I press there? Something went wrong. Okay.
Come on, angry dwarf. Let's see what you got. Aww.
As he just misses and falls onto his back. Oh, fuck! Help!
Okay, I try and help him up.
Not you, you fucking scumbag! Thieving bastards, you two! Help! One guard just leans over.
Look at the guy.
He's just
Yeah,
raised his hands just so it's gonna be alright, mate. Just don't worry about it. It's alright, Colin, we'll help you up.
Like this.
Well, I mean, that is his hammer. He's right about that. We've seen it plenty. He used to throw it about and nearly smash the windows. But,
I found this around 6 months ago.
yeah, well, he sent it off a while back. Like I'm saying, he was doing this all the time. It was his favourite party trick. But, I'm guessing you lot found it on a corpse, eh?
Well,
Aye, we did.
roll call.
Well, he might hassle you when he's awake again, as he just goes, help, and then passes out steadily. He might hassle you again, but it's alright, we won't. We're not risking anything for this. Just don't go rile them up, okay?
Fair enough.
And they just cart him out slowly. You can see just this little saggy dwarf ass.
Well, Malgern, I'll say this. The problems you get in are always interesting at the very least.
Yeah, you could say that. I found this hammer. I'm kind of muttering to myself, I found this hammer, it's mine.
And then mutters to the boots, I found these boots, they're mine.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Now you're
Of
getting it.
course, it's the dwarf that gets accused of stealing.
Yeah, and not the rogue, right?
Rain, what are you up to?
Speaking of being greedy and
thieves,
stealing
yeah.
it.
Hey, I don't take anything unless it's from a dead person.
Like their wedding ring.
Yeah, me too! Hey, wait, what? Was
I
that?
didn't take the wedding band. It fell off, and I passed it out so that the compatriots could read it, see if we could find out who owned it. That was a bit
And then in your pocket.
No, it didn't go in my pocket. I did not take the ring. I wanted to put it back, but somebody else suggested keeping it.
Anyway, what are you up to? You've seen Castalia's been sort of taken by a little entourage, and when the door opened, you heard a lot of thriving music and a lot of whooping and cheering. You've heard some of the shouting down the hall.
I go to check out the shouting down the hall.
You catch the tail end of a scenario where this old dwarf just falls in front of Cornelius, and then is carried away by the guards as they sort of calm things down.
In that case, I wander over and go, "What the hell have you been up to?"
Just
I
looking
didn't
at
do any.
Meanwhile, either
He
side of
started
you,
it.
there's people pressing themselves against the walls and sliding along so they don't get in the way of the owlbear.
Usually I'm the problem child, not you.
who says I wasn't doing was the one starting this trouble?
He did fall down right in front of you and try to take a swing. You're not completely blameless here.
I'm responsible for someone attacking me.
It looks rather suspicious. He is an old gent. Anyways, I don't care.
Very quick on that last bit.
I give up.
I just woke up confused up to the room. As to why she wasn't.
Oh, you're going up to the room?
Yes, to the room.
Oh yeah, because I said I was going to follow you up there when you were looking at the stuff.
Yeah.
Which in case that way I follow you.
As you two are walking up,
Can I?
a couple of it were walking alongside you say, "Makeup sex is always the best."
I look about ready to be ill.
I probably didn't pay attention. I'm
room
already
is-
kind of going over my mind and with the ritual.
After all the beauty of the rest of the place, the room itself is actually very utilitarian, very simple. 4 beds, 2 of them doubles, and just very simple furs and froze. Very pleasant. And 1 desk. So, what are you identifying?
Just for the fun of it, the pipe. Also, how long will it take to do the ritual for each item?
It takes 10 minutes each casting.
Okay, just so that since I was invited for a board game and a drink, I shouldn't spend the entire day there.
Well, you probably chat about this with Alcano, maybe. And he points out, well, of course, I mean, a good wine needs time to breathe first, so we'll meet again in about an hour or so. Because obviously he's going to decant the wine first.
Of course, he knows how to drink wine.
He's not a savage, despite what you might think. So, you're looking at the pipe first?
Yeah.
It has the School of Illusion, and you find out it is... When you light it and puff out smoke, it will take the shape of a skull. And it will be a random skull. It could be human, it could be orc, it could be dwarven, it could even be a beast.
What an odd item. Why would anyone make a pipe like this? Huh.
People are into weird things.
I'm starting to think. Well, this building just shows that.
On that note, Castali, give me a performance, and Zarzul, what are you doing?
Azazul's going to inquire about a good place to eat.
To what, sorry?
A good place to find a meal.
Give me an, let's see, survival. Castali, you're drawing some of the attention just from the novelty and the appearance, but you're not being the main attraction at the moment. One girl is doing these twirls and ribbons around her, and she's managing to keep her attention. Also, she's got half her outfit off. That might be most of the reason. Zarzul, it takes you a little wandering. You get a little lost as you just follow the corridors and the trails. You know, you can't really just look for prey this sort of way, but you find yourself eventually in a stone-furnished kitchen. There's a few people milling around, just tending to it, and you do actually see Alcano himself carrying a tray with a decanter on it, filled with wine and a couple of wine bottles. Little one, greetings.
Greetings. I'm just looking for somewhere to get a good meal.
This is the very place. This is my kitchen. You just ask Sally. We need a little meal for this one. I assume you... What do you eat?
Just normal food's acceptable.
Okay, just...
And if I could
yes, go on.
have some meat for my wolf, he will be hungry, and
I believe
Yeah,
we still have
I would
some
like-
a day old mutton shank that should do nicely for a wolf, and yes,
That would
just a
be
simple
excellent.
and a bowl of a stew for my friend here. I was wondering, since you're a dragon, maybe you chew on a sword or maybe nibble on a coin.
No, no.
Well, today I learned something. It's important to do that.
Yes, a day without learning is a day wasted.
Well, sit yourself down. You'll be served and no problem. Enjoy yourself, my
Good.
friend.
Thank you, friend.
As he walks past and out the room, let's see now. We'll jump to Siegfried. Give me a perception check. You finally realize there is
getting better.
there's definitely someone watching you, and they are somewhere. They're outside at least. You get a feel for it. They're not being peered at through a window. Those are easy to spot.
I'm seeing as I'm at the cart. Everywhere is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in the cart. Don't forget, Javo, you're pulled up right beside the buildings now, in a line
Yep.
with them. And then you
I
realize,
keep on.
and then this figure shows itself. It is that incredibly thin, pale, lanky elf. He looks like he's been stretched out. He's near 7 foot tall, walking like a ghost or like those incredibly thin, withered trees as he just steps across to you.
Hello there, sir. How may I help you?
It is I who will be helping you, yes. In this moment, then maybe the next that follows, and then few more. You are a man of subterfuge, of quiet, of silence, of larceny.
Not exactly larceny, but I'll go for the first one.
I see now, yes, you have the skills required. There is a woman who needs you tonight. Not in that way, but there is one who needs you. She is behind in the foamy mustache. It is bar near here. She will
In the
have hair
bar,
of red.
okay.
She will be elven. She is of many ancient bloodlines. She is important, and you are required.
Okay. Interesting.
That will be 2 silver. As the mage hand rises out the hover bear.
Yeah, where's my 2 silver? I see where you want the hand, but you don't have the silver with you, do you?
He is completely unmoving. It's creepy. For a moment, you don't even realize he's breathing.
I don't look down at Wolfgang. Should I go?
Well, yeah, Wolfgang looks at you like a wolf looks at a person.
Baby crazy.
He is still standing there. The only movement he makes is another swift finger motion to bring his mage hand back up again.
I get the impression they bloody made a fleet call. And I hand over 2 silver. This place is expensive.
You are most gracious, and I am thankful, but then later I will not be, because I know I have done something important and required, and for that the gratitude is not needed. It is just done. And he rotates on
Yet
the
you still wanted
spot.
payment.
He rotates on the spot and then walks away to his wagon.
Great. Alf, here of red in the other bar. Okay.
And then we're going to jump to... Actually, Castalia. It's getting harder to get their attention too, and you're not even sure if you want it in the first place, but Through the door steps trembling Per. And with a few quick little movements, most of the dress is away, and you can see now a very slender figure in just a few lengths of, well, it's sort of like, it's almost a nightgown sort of thing. Shorter, of course, more like sort of like a flapper outfit. As she herself starts to dance, and it's hard to compete with feline flexibility. But it's also just odd to see this. She is entirely a cat, but also a person, and it's very weird to see. But there's a lot of hooping and hollering, and a lot of offers, and even some closeness of bodies from the audience, as some of them try to join in. 2 other girls actually have started to try and mimic your steps. And one of them does even whisper, Are you a student of a great Sashish?
Oh shit, it's a dance-off.
No, this is just from one of the girls trying to copy Castalia.
Not officially, but I'd like to be.
She was amazing. I saw her 2 or 3 years ago, and I have never been able to forget it. You move something like her, and although she contained the drips, I suppose. Are you overheating?
No.
Do you? I don't mean to be rude, but you have a clump of moss on your thigh.
I reach down and pull it off.
And out comes the whip, because that's how it stores itself.
True. Nope, it's just this.
That is very strange, but amazing looking. I guess you're one of those travelers. You just have all kinds of adventures.
I've had my fair share so far, and I'm looking to have plenty.
Well, you'll have no problem with adventure now. You seem to have attracted quite a few glances. As she nods across, there is a rare example, a fully clothed blonde gentleman sitting back in a chair reclining, and now and again he's looking over Castalia and his eyes are just sitting there. He's got a very slight smile on his face, but he's not leering or anything, he's just watching. And now we jump to Cornelius, as we wrap up for the evening. Al Cano is on the balcony. He has his wine, he has it decanted, he has a couple of serving glasses. So, now you come to see all that lies before us. My domain, if you will. Although most of it is hers.
Well, couldn't exactly say no to such an invitation. Been a while since I had properly cooled wine.
Yes, the cellar is actually quite expensive to make. Apparently my great-great-grandfather was the one who was responsible for it. They put in a few magical glyphs to keep it perfect temperature.
Ah, yes. I know that very well from, well, I know it from my home.
You are also a man of the grape?
I am indeed.
Yeah, sadly, my land here is not good for turning it, but we trade, we buy, and Gerard itself has beautiful varieties. Perhaps you'll enjoy this one.
I shall certainly give it a try.
And actually, you would have also gotten a few more items to identify, but we'll get to that in a bit. As he pours it out, he just sort of gestures out into the expanse, and you can see before you there is, going westwards, the tree line has actually been fairly pushed back. There are sprawling farms, there are fields, there are a menagerie of animals and grazers. And then further to the west and slightly to the south, you can see a great mass of water, a little lake. This is a nice place. I do not miss the sand and dust of my homeland.
How did you wind up acquiring this place?
Well, it was family, it was marriage. How else do nobles keep their influence? This was the home of the Lockleys. I married in, well, my family married in 2 generations ago. Since then, we sometimes live. Yeah, sometimes we live in Gerard, sometimes here, I decided I like here. I met my wife, I helped the town, I brought in my gallery, and now it is nice. Now it is a place where I can sit back, enjoy wine, and enjoy many, many nights. Although that is new. As he narrows his eyes looking over the distance, there's, it is getting dark now, but there's still some degree of sunset. And as you're looking out over the waters, you can see a shape that's moving. And to see a shape at that distance, it's pretty big. It's a very large, round shape. And from the front of it are about 6 or 7 moving lengths. I don't know what that is.
I'm going to assume that's not usually something that's here.
No, that is definitely not something I've seen, and that is turning towards the farm. Well, the farms. I wonder, are you people up for employment?
I say we go right now.
Yes, you and your friends. I may watch from a discreet distance.
And I politely set down the glass, and then I turn around and start going for the rest.
And as Cornelius is going to seek help, Siegfried, what are you doing?
Well, I guess I'm going to go and check. First off, I'm going to look at Wolfgang and say, look after the cart until I get back, and go into the bar that was indicated.
The one behind the temples, the foamy mustache. You get to see the sign as you walk past. And as you enter in, it is... Well, you didn't see the inside of the Frillin race, but you imagine it was a nicer place than this. This is the place where people drink to forget. It is dark. It is quiet. There's a few tables of people. And in one of them you can see a lady with red hair and pointed ears. And she's just running her finger along the top of her tankard.
That looks like the right one. I go over to her and say, hello. I was asked to...
Ah, greetings. You're the man I've been looking for, yes?
Not sure. I just got asked to come around and see.
By the white fellow? Pale? Gaunt?
Yeah, looks like he needs a bit more nourish.
He is very wise, very intelligent, and Mr. Andam, I have a job I require your help with.
What does this job involve?
He didn't even notice. There is a great treasure in that building, the home of the Lord. It does not belong to him. It belongs to my people in Doma, and I require it.
So you want me to try and break into one of the...
Not alone. I will go with you.
buildings?
We will attempt to break in. We will recover what is ours. I will pay you. You will say nothing of this. And it will be returned to where it belongs.
One, I don't know if you actually own it. Two, I might get involved with stuff I don't need to be involved with. So, what other reasons do you have that I should be helping?
I am asking for a little trust, Mr. Random. Now please sit with me for a moment and I will explain.
I might as well sit down.
You see, he is a collector of art. Art belongs to certain people before it becomes the possession of a collector. Our great temple, it had many beautiful symbols. Among them is a teardrop of purest water tinged only with the blood of one of our great rulers. It is a magical artifact. It is something we need for our faith. And it was taken from us almost a century ago. I tried to find it in Tirat. I had no luck. I tried to find it in Raxis. It was not there. It moved constantly until here is where I have been told it is.
So you don't even know if it's actually here.
I have good authority that it is here. I do not know where in the building it is, but I know it is there.
That's a fairly large building.
It is, but really, we do not need to worry about bedrooms or kitchens. It is, and she brings out a parchment and unfurls it in front of you, and you can see that, yeah, it's this teardrop, but it's also with a little metal cage around it, like shaped to it, and it's been painted in. This is what we are looking for. We need this, or there will be further drought in my country, and it is already a desert. We need our water.
And have you spoken to the person there?
I have spoken to him. He denies it exists. I know it is here.
You've been told it's here. You don't have any proof that it's actually here, and you want me to try sneaking around.
I managed to find the courier who brought it to here. As far as I know, it has not left. And you are saying as if I have not checked a place it has not been. I have checked everywhere I can. If it is not here, then I go to the next place. But this one is busy. I do not fancy my chances alone. And I was told by the Gaunt One that you are someone who can assist me, that you will be arriving today.
Yes, well, I haven't had much luck lately, and I don't really want to tinge your luck with.
I do not need luck, Mr. Random. I need skill. I need experience. I have some, but with different buildings. This is not my kind of territory.
Not really mine either.
But I was told you have done this sort of thing before.
On occasion, but in different areas. I have no knowledge of this place. Makes things very difficult.
Well, we can...
And for another thing, I do not know for fact on certain things, like where and building. Normally I have the information, or at least found out previously.
I see you're
Now-
mocking my accent. That is not very polite.
It should be perfect accent by now.
Well, I'm
I
asking
do
for your...
get that.
Go on.
I can, where is it? I can mimic speech patterns and accents if I've been around them for a minute.
So you're just going to mimic her accent for no real reason?
Well, I've not only that, I should have had the trader's accent as well.
For whatever purpose.
Yeah, I've got it.
That's his purpose. The purpose is he's got it.
I don't get to use it very often, but I must as well.
But I must beseech you, we need this for our kingdom. I do not want to go in there and be caught and bloodshed. I just need to get in, get out, and hurt no one. This is only going back to where it belongs.
Again, I don't know what this thing does. You might be telling me one thing, but it might do another. I have literally nothing that tells me you're a good person or if this is a good idea.
Well, I have one thing that can assure you. She starts reaching into her pack, rummaging around, brings out a scroll case. This is Zone of Truth. I will willingly allow it to happen. I suggest you do the same, and we can speak only the truth to each other. Agree?
Yes, but it's the truth that you know, not necessarily the truth that it is.
I can only follow the truth that I know.
Yes, but you might have been told wrong earlier.
I am starting to feel that way with how you are approaching this. I was told you would be my assistant, you would help. But you are willing to assist in a good cause.
Yeah, and I had to pay to actually get the message. It was not pleasant.
I did not say that he would make a profit.
Yeah, I had to pay to get a message for me.
I did not know. How much did you
But I
pay?
didn't
I'll
really-
reimburse you then.
I suspect that the people you might be talking to might not have your best interests in heart.
Well, there's nothing else I can do. We need this. This is for our water. This is to reinvigorate our country, our kingdom.
Well, how can the bloodstained tear of water reinvigorate your country?
It is the blood of one of our rulers from long ago. Our land is dry. You cannot dig for water. It must be brought forth magically. This is one of those keys to do so. Without
And
this,
yet,
our
as you
rituals
said-
bring forth only a little water. Enough for the ruling classes, but not enough for the people.
And I ask you again, how do you know that it's actually here?
As I've said before, the information I have tells me it is here. If it is not, then I find information to find where it went. But for now, I convince myself this is where it is. I will find it. If not, then I continue my job. I cannot go back until I find this. I will not go back until I find it.
All I'm seeing at the moment is a risk that you're asking me to do in a town that I don't know, with no sway with the guards or anything. And if I get caught, I'm the one in trouble.
I am also telling you you'll not do it alone. I will be with you. I will be as accountable as you. I am asking for assistance, not that you do this.
At this point in time, I must decline. For the amount of time that it'll take to scope out the place, I'm planning on be gone tomorrow with my party. It's not a one-night job.
Well, I will still be here tomorrow, the next day. I cannot go until I check it out, and I hope you will keep this quiet. I put trust in you.
That much you can be guaranteed of.
Very well then. Farewell, Mr. Random.
Yeah, see you later, Mr. Anderson.
Who?
And I'll let you leave to go back to the car.
And that is where we will end our session for the night. Intrigue, plot hooks, involvement. Who knows what could be in the next episode?
Split the party. Yeah, no thanks.
There is nothing wrong with splitting the party. That is one of the great fallacies. It is perfectly fine to split the party. It's just people don't like to do it due to convenience.
Or if it's in a dungeon.
I mean, hey, flanking is important.
Hmm.
But yes, that'll be it for tonight's session. Next week, we'll see what happens. As Cornelius runs off. Oh, actually, we'll do... You get 3 more items from your identify before you had to go up to the balcony.
Okay, let's see. What were some of the other items? We did the pie, and then we had. Let's see, it was here. Let's take the large coin.
The large coin is a 12-sided coin. Each time you turn it, it will go up to 1, or it'll go up to 12, and then it will go back to 1. The number resets each dawn. And you were all fucking terrified of it.
Well, kind of worried if we were starting a countdown or something. Then I guess does the 2 arrows 2 arrows then?
Okay, the 2 arrows. 1 is an arrow of guiding bolt. First level. When you fire it, if it hits, it will do the effects of a guiding bolt spell. The other one is a Misty Step arrow.
Are they single use or
They are
every
single
time?
use.
And
And if they-
Misty Step arrow.
If you aim at somewhere, you will teleport there.
Huh.
If you miss, you will end up somewhere else.
Is there a range on that Misty Step?
It is only short range on the bow.
And then I guess does the arrow counts the 2 items or as I collected?
I'll give you one more.
Then I'll take the chain.
The chain? Let me just look at my notes on this one. Yeah. The chain has a magical lock on it. Once closed on someone, it can be forced open, but it takes a DC 19 strength check to do it. And you do know the command word to open and close it, but it's not in your language. Although you know the word. It's just you don't know what it means.
Hmm. Alright then. Could be useful.
And there we go. So now you know a little bit of what's kicking around in the cache. There's something approaching from the west. Siegfried got an offer he refused. And who knows what else may be occurring. But we'll get to that next week. Because we're 3 hours in, and I think Scotch is sick of poking at his phone.
No, it's fine. Because we weren't doing anything as such, so
Yeah, no horrible battle or anything. No tactical maps.
yeah.
But yes, we'll be back next week. In the new year. And we still won't be at Raxis. Haha! My great plan. How can I get them to go to every other kingdom except Raxis?
Maybe start offering the rogue money. It might change his mind.
She offered to pay him.
Yes.